Another fucking invader, god damn it. Where's the bonfire? Kindle that shit.
The sex change coffin? What the fuck? Am I a chick now? I think I turned into a chick. What is the point of this?
We have returned to the world of Dark Souls. There's a dragon, a giant fucking knight. We got trolls. What the fuck? I play video games with the gorgeous view.
Praise the sun. Praise the sun.
Are you kidding me? What the fuck is this?
Dark Souls.
Son of a bitch. What the fuck is a plunging attack? Oh, good dodge that attack. You can't hit me if I stay on his ball sack. That is a big fucking rat. Oh. Killed that fucking thing on the second try. I got the soul of the moonlight butterfly.
Oh, welcome to die.
Oh shit. It's an undead dragon and it's alive. Come on. 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 Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go, go. Oh.
snap. What's up, everyone? It's time for another episode of Smart Guys broadcasting live here on YouTube and Kick. It's episode 5. That's right. It's the Royal Rumble recap and the Raw Fallout. I'm DSP, and with me, as always, is PPP. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing good on this edition of the Benoit Boys. We're dedicating it tonight to Chris Benoit, the greatest wrestler of all time in memory of Benoit tonight. Let's go!
All right.
Let's go!
Let's go. There shouldn't be any freaking echo. Please tell me there is no echo on the mic this week.
It's going to be echoing brutally, Phil. There's no thumbnail. We're late. We're muted. It's bad. The audio's scuffed.
Actually,
it's echoing.
The thumbnail thing is an ongoing thing with YouTube, and I have no clue what causes it. Sometimes you upload a thumbnail to a stream or video ahead of time, and it just disappears. And you'll, like, re-upload it, and it'll disappear again. So I don't know. I know.
A likely story, Phil. A likely story. When you tell as many lies as Phil, how can we trust you with something even like that, Phil?
Welcome to the Smart Guys land of lies, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, a million a minute, and you know what? Tonight we might not even need an official Grill Phil segment because I almost was injured irrevocably and unable to perform tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I hurt my neck overnight. I don't know what happened. I was watching Monday Night Raw last night, and there were so many technical issues on the show. I just kept wrenching my neck in disapproval, and I managed to pinch a disc in my neck, and I actually have some pretty bad pain in my neck tonight, but I made it.
Leave, Phil?
Well, here's the thing. Like, normally that would work, but usually that only works for muscle pain. This is a nerve pinch, so usually that shit doesn't work that bad. If it gets really bad, I will take something. I haven't taken anything today.
People are speculating that this is caused by your drinking problem. They're saying that you have some sort of fucking nerve condition from drinking so much, Phil.
Absolutely. I mean, as you see every day, I just break into spasms on stream wildly because I have no control over my body or my senses.
Have you put down the bottle, or is it full-blown alcoholism, Phil, or what?
It's somewhere in the middle. It's tempered. It's under control. Every once in a while, I have a drink with my wife, sometimes by myself. It all depends, but usually it's under control.
Shittered, don't you, Phil? You drink the whole bottle in one go. You're a heavyweight champ, aren't you, Phil?
Well, when I had to go back to watching pro wrestling, I had to do something to ease the pain of watching it.
You know what? That makes sense, Phil. No wonder you're having all these nerve problems, buddy. It's neuropathy. That's right. You have alcoholic-induced neuropathy, Phil. That's brutal, buddy.
That's totally not. That's not Ethan Ralph we're talking about, right? That's,
No, well, he's in rehab in Mexico. Imagine going to Mexican rehab, buddy.
Oh, my God.
Okay, one thing I never asked you about. Is it true that you have gout, or what's the deal with the gout?
100% it is true, and I didn't know this. It runs in my family, but no one talks about it until someone actually says something, right? So I do. I full-blown, if I eat too much red meat, if I eat too much shellfish, if I eat too many, like, overly fatty foods, and then if I drink a lot on top of it, it exacerbates it. But what happens is these acid crystals build up in my joints. Usually it's my foot. And it's excruciating pain, like monstrous swelling, and you can't walk on it because when you do, it's like someone is stabbing you in the foot. So, like, repeatedly, it's some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. So I had to change my whole lifestyle. Like, you'll see today. That's right, folks. Today we have the picks that you requested and paid for last week. You'll be looking inside of my refrigerator, and you're going to see one of the things I have to do is, like, I adjusted my diet. There's, like, little to no red meat. I have to drink tart cherry juice regularly to reduce this acid. It sucks, but you know what? To be honest, it was kind of a wake-up call because it was about 10 years ago when I first was diagnosed with it. And I was like, dude, I'm only in my 30s and I'm having these kind of crazy problems. I got to change my lifestyle. And that's actually when I started to make good life changes.
Is there no hope for remission or recovery from this condition, Phil, or what?
It cannot be permanently cured. You just have to watch your diet for your whole life. And what happened was when I found out that I had it, I reached out to my family members and come to find out my aunt had it her whole life and hadn't told anyone.
It's the disease of kings, and it's a royal lineage, the Burnell line. So it adds up that you have it, Phil.
It just makes sense. Exactly.
It makes sense. Oh, buddy. So what's the status on this rum cake, Phil? Like, is it going to have to go in the trash? You had to put a gun to the cake's head.
We've got some big updates on the rum cake. All right. So first of all, after last week, we did have kind of a reinvigoration. We did have a big onpouring of support. There were a few days there where I actually hit multiple goals. All right. So as of tonight, I'm at 93 out of 100 of my cumulative goals that I'm trying to hit to do this marathon and eat this rum cake. The rum cake was shipped today. I just received confirmation no more than an hour ago saying that it's on its way via UPS, and it's coming tomorrow afternoon. I have to make room in my refrigerator for it. It's going to last 3 to 5 days. So as long as we hit this goal in the next 3 to 5 days, we should be good on the rum cake. It should be good. And we got that momentum going. So, I hit my goal earlier today. So hopefully we'll hit it.
People were telling me that your goal is imaginary and it's arbitrary. What do you think of that, Phil?
Imaginary and arbitrary at the same time.
It's an arbitrary and imaginary goal, Phil. How do you feel about it?
Well, imaginary, I mean, that's kind of, you must have really imagined a lot of hours of me begging to get it. I mean,
No, the begging was real, but was the goal?
The goal is very much real, as much as people would like to cope and say, oh, he made up a tip and that didn't really come in and this didn't really happen. The goals legit are real. The way I've set it up is that there's no more streak. So it's not like, oh, the streak will end if I don't hit a goal on a stream, but it's cumulative instead. If we hit a goal, we add it to our tally. When we hit those milestones, we do rewards. So it's good because it's not like people feel, we didn't hit the goal today and now the streak is over. We got to start it all over, and then they feel defeated. Instead, it's kind of like, all right, you had a slow stream. It's not that big of a deal. Obviously, you don't want to have a million slow streams because you want to hit these goals and have these rewards, but they're not imaginary. They're real, and we're hitting them. It's actually...
No, they're real. What about the marathon? Is it happening, or did these pieces of shit not pay up, Phil?
I want to do it Friday, but like I said, we're at 93 out of 100 goals. So can I hit 7 goals between right now and Friday? I guess we'll see. I am here all day tomorrow, all day Thursday. We can hit more than 1 goal during a particular stream. It's possible. We'll see how tonight goes, because I've actually started counting my half of what we make on this show. I still count towards my goals too.
Oh,
that way
wow.
It's not.
That's way too generous, sire. You shouldn't do that.
Well,
that's
I don't.
Outrageous. Were they complaining? They are insolent?
Well,
saying this should count towards the goals?
Not that they were complaining per se. There were some people who were getting, the vocal minority. A few people who were kind of loud in chat about, oh, you had a good night last night. Why didn't you count it?
Just detractor trolls, King Philip. The real fans should want to support you and see you make more money. And they know that this shouldn't count towards the goal.
Well,
I can't believe that they were being insolent and disrespectful like this.
The way I see it is, if this show does well, I benefit, you benefit, we both work. It both works for both of us, right? It's a good thing.
Yeah.
And we have been doing well, let's be honest. Out of these shows we did in the last month, we're getting views, we're getting support. So as long as half of what we make is what would have been one of my goals, I think I'll count it. It makes sense. It gets us to our rewards faster. I like doing the rewards. Like, are you kidding me? I want to do this marathon.
Do they retroactively count towards the goal now?
Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. No, never. We can't do that.
We did 4 episodes, Phil, that apparently didn't count.
There's no way. No. You have to start now.
If we applied those, then we might get the rum cake in the marathon.
Listen,
just saying. Maybe
we're gonna get
for them to retroactively count towards the goal.
We're gonna get the rum cake in the marathon regardless. It's just a matter of when. It's that level of enthusiasm that you show for the content. And I actually started this rule right after Smart Guys last week, because we had a really good week last week, and I said, let's start it now. So we counted that. And
now have a good week. Let's get some subs.
That's right.
Get support, damn it, for the king.
Let's get some support.
Wrestling show. We're certainly going to get to the wrestling discussion really, really soon. But first, Phil, I heard that you were shaking your ass this week for money.
Oh, I was
Sure, were you actually shaking your ass like a stripper for money?
absolutely. I was twerking all over the office. You know, I had my new camera following me all around, and I had and I'm thinking about converting this boom arm mic into maybe like a stripper pole or something. You know?
Phil, will you twerk for us even with your bad back, Phil? Will you shake it?
You
Will
know,
shake it
listen,
for us,
listen.
Phil?
The king does not do performative works for free. You understand? The king
Well,
must
let's
have his
get-
coffers
how much-
filled.
How much do we need to see Phil shake his ass tonight? Because apparently this is the new thing, is twerking with the king.
Wow.
Twerking with the king. And then also, we didn't even get the underwear check. Phil, can we get the underwear check?
Oh,
King?
what I'm wearing tonight?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's get the Rick Rude music playing.
No.
Ooh, it's the model Dark Side Phil. Ooh, baby, look at that. Ooh, let's get the outline just a little lower, sire. Oh,
No, you gotta
buddy.
pay for more. You gotta pay for
Oh,
more.
guys, come on. Let's get some fucking support so Phil shows the full Monty.
Oh my God.
No, we're trying. People say that the tagline of the casino is "It's as gay as it gets." Nobody outgays the casino, but we're trying here at Smark.
We're pushing the boundaries of what can be on YouTube. That's for sure. Let me tell you.
Pushing the boundaries of homoerotic partnership. I'm telling you, Phil. We really are on this show. I think tonight, guys, if we hit the goal, we got to do the chicken dance, everybody. We got to hit that goal for the chicken dance and the YMCA dance.
Wow.
All the different dances, because apparently Phil is now an exotic dancer.
Yes.
This is the new arc for Phil.
I have all these outfits that I change into and I dance around. The vest was the test case for that. But as you can see, you know, I've been trying on gunner glasses. I've been trying on hats for years, and apparently it works. So, you know, you got to do what works.
What happened to the hats and the fucking gunner glasses?
In truth,
You got rid of it all.
in truth, it was just like the vest thing was silly. It was just something that happened out of nowhere. It wasn't ever planned or anything. People just, we was watching a video. I had the vest on like a decade ago. I actually found the vest in my house. It was kind of like this weird organic thing, right? But it kind of got overblown. Like, do I really need to be putting this shit on every stream? And, you know, it got to the point where when I'm doing a stream, I'm doing it because I want to have a good time with my audience. I want to have some conversation. I want to talk about topics.
You're doing it for money.
Well, that's the good thing about it, is that if you do a good job, you can do it for money. You understand? But I do it for free, and then I make a living doing it because I do such a good job. That's how it works.
Yes, of course.
But after years of doing all these things, it was funny. My joke was always, it's funny because if you go to Twitch, you'll see a bunch of girls taking all their clothes off. But you could come to YouTube and see a dude like me put all his clothes on.
Yeah, they want you to put clothes on. They'll pay you to put more vests on. At one time, would you get like 9 vests on at once or something fucking stupid?
I have something like 9 or 10 vests in the closet. You know, I had multiple different glasses and things I was going through over the years there. But in truth, last year, I kind of like, it just kind of got phased out. Like, we started doing different rewards instead of putting on clothes and shit. And
This is what I think. Every $100, Phil should undo a button on his shirt.
Wow.
How many buttons do you have, sire? Like,
I have 87 buttons. 87. So we'll have to go through 87.
Let's get $100 tip right now for Phil to undo the first button. Who's got the $100 tip for Phil to unbutton the first button on that shirt?
Wow.
Phil's too sexy for his shirt. Too sexy for his shirt. So sexy it hurts. Let's get that hundo bomb. They don't have it.
I know.
I'm gonna be broken here, Phil.
I'm gonna be honest, all right? You don't know because you haven't been around recently. The last couple of days, the Kick audience has been very, very dry. Let me tell you.
I've heard they haven't even been donating one fucking sub. I didn't even bother opening them up today. Let me open them up.
And you know what? Here's why I'm upset. When you open it up, you're gonna see something really cool. We added a Smark Guys emote to the Kick chat. That's an animation of Smark Guys, right? So we add this cool animation that they can now use in the chat. when we're doing the show, and you're telling me that no one can drop any subs for the show.
I see Don Felter is like, we dropped some 20 sub bombs a couple days ago, but what have you done lately?
That's right.
Like, what did you do today? And what did you
a
do
big
in particular,
goose egg.
Don
0.
Felter?
There was nothing
It's
earlier
a
today.
big fucking goose egg, buddy. You fucking bum. Don Felter. Where are the fucking subs at, bud? Let's go. Subs, let's go. Holy. Yeah, exactly, Dr. Herbert West. I have a good point. Listen, if you guys don't start supporting on the kick side, we're going to shut it down. There'll be no more kick. Then what will you do?
We'll have technical difficulties like Raw. All of a sudden, the feed will start to stutter and cut out right in the middle of the show.
Jerry, Ice Kuko's PPP on poor and homeless. Don't yell at me. That gives the greatest incentive to give. Are you fucking kidding me? The poorer you are, you should give all. It's like in the parable there in the Bible of the widow and the rich man. The widow who gave all that she had, her contribution was worth more than the rich man who, though he gave more,
here you go.
The poor, the disabled give all. So give all.
Does it
give
matter?
All to the show.
Does it matter if Mr. Beast starts giving stuff out to charity? No, that guy's filthy fucking rich. It doesn't mean anything.
No,
it's like he could fart out that money.
Exactly. So for those of you who are poorer off, you have more to contribute to us than anyone else, and it means more.
That's right.
It means more when I spend it on decorative title belts, or Phil spends it on WWE champions, or I gamble on football games. You know it's going to a good place.
Listen,
you know.
I dropped some money on a bottle of single malt Scotch whiskey, but that is for the marathon. We're gonna have it together. Do you understand? Like that's how it works.
Phil's gonna be drinking only the finest. All right, let's have a look at this fridge or freezer, and then we'll get into wrestling.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll do, because there are some contributions. We'll shout those out, and then we'll get into the wrestling.
I didn't think we were getting any contributions.
There was a couple super chats. I do have a couple tips that came in, so let's get into the fridge first. So let's see here. What do you want? Okay, what do we want to do first? Do we want to do the fridge, or do we want to do the freezer first? What do we want to look at first?
All right, well, let's look at this freezer first.
Freezer first. Okay, so freezer pick 1. You have these on your end, better quality.
Yes.
So you can see them better. For everyone on stream, this is the best I can do and blow it up for stream here, okay?
Okay, Phil, what are these shitty, containers? Are these, frozen microwave meals, in the bottom there?
Oh, no, don't call them shitty, because what you're seeing right there are gourmet frozen ramen, not salty whatsoever.
Gourmet frozen ramen.
These are low fat, low sodium, but full of flavor, actual vegetables, white meat chicken, delicious broth, and all you gotta do is add some water, toss them in the microwave. It's a delicious snacker meal.
There's no way, because it looks like if we just remove those 2 frozen ramen, the rum cake could fit in right there.
That is a stack of 6 frozen ramen, 3 on each side. That fills that entire side of the freezer up. And what I'm holding there is a tray of ice that goes on top of it, and that is 100% filling to the top of that side of the freezer right there.
How about you take out and eat the ramen?
Well, I could, but I can't eat 6 at once. I will. That's the intention.
Are you
eat
kidding?
them slowly.
Phil, you can suck it back. Come on, Phil.
That is top quality ramen straight out of the fridge at Costco. I can't be eating 6 of them.
The premium gourmet ramen. Phil's such a fucking mark. Holy shit. He's like, no, it's gourmet. I swear to God. Okay. Then we have, it looks like a frozen pizza.
That's correct.
In
that is
the top left.
A frozen margarita pizza, also from my Costco trip that I told you about. It's pretty good. It actually came in a pack of 2, and we did eat one of those already. So this is the second one. We haven't gotten around to eating it yet, and it's pretty good. It's a little bit too much cheese, I think, for me, but it still tastes pretty good.
So that's now been eaten.
That's what's left. There were 2 in there. That's the one that's left in there.
Right, and then behind that, is that a Hungry Man? It appears to be a Hungry Man. Is that not the blue and yellow packaging of a Hungry Man frozen dinner?
No, that is actually a different frozen pizza that we had previous that we hadn't eaten yet. So that's a different frozen pizza. We have them. Sometimes we have them as like a night snack before we go to bed, or if we have a day off, we have it during the day or something like that. That's just a different kind.
This is the signature healthy eating of Dark Side.
That's
Phil,
right.
The healthy arc, the frozen pizzas.
Only the best of frozen pizzas, let me tell you. These are
Only
not
the very
Red Baron. These are not the Tombstone. This is the good stuff, all right? It's ridiculous. I would never eat that.
They're pointing at chat. Pizza is a snack now?
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
it might be a snack for me, but you know, like, this is supposedly the healthy Burnell household.
Well, you don't
And
eat the whole thing. You have a piece or two, and then you save the rest, and you warm it up later.
What do you mean you save the rest?
Put it into a like a Tupperware container. You put it in your refrigerator, and you can warm it up another day for a snack
And
on a
you
different meal.
reheat frozen pizza, Phil?
Of course you do.
All right. Let's see what else do we got. Are those pretzels or is that bread?
Actually, one of those things is a frozen focaccia bread that my wife saw. We were at Trader Joe's, and she wanted to try a focaccia bread, so we froze it. We haven't eaten it yet. We're going to eat that with like a dinner at some point. We're going to thaw it out and eat it. And then there's a bunch of bags there. We were trying some kind of like it was supposed to be low-fat fried rice at Costco as well. So it's like a shrimp fried rice. And we have like a whole bunch of them there. We haven't eaten any yet. It was like a 6-pack. So it was like 6 of them there. Behind there, that big red packaging you're seeing are some breakfast burritos that we have sometimes for breakfast because we alternate. Because you can actually see there's a bagel there too, a frozen bagel. So sometimes we'll have a bagel, sometimes we'll have toast, sometimes we'll have a breakfast burrito for breakfast. So it's pretty, as you can see, it's pretty stacked in there.
I'm pretty sure you could make room for this rum cake, Phil. Like
This is to the top. To the top.
No.
The drawer will barely close. It's so full. It's so full.
Have you considered investing in a deep freeze, Phil?
Oh, you mean like one of those external ones, like you put it in your garage or whatever, like a separate? We haven't yet, but here's the thing. We recently did actually from top to bottom clean out our garage. We actually hauled away a whole bunch of junk. So we have room. That perhaps could be an investment that we make. Because when we do these Costco hauls, we can load that sucker up, and then we'd have room in this.
I was talking to Steve today. It was like you could acquire one for like $300, and then this wouldn't even be an issue.
That is a fair enough point. It's something to think about. We actually didn't have the room until recently, and now we would have room in our garage for it. So might think about that. That's a good one. All
right, this is the freezer.
Well, that was the first pick of the freezer. Did you see the second pick of the freezer? Hold on.
Oh wait,
this is the upper freezer. All right, this is the top shelf of the
freezer. Bro, there's room in there for the rum cake. By the way, what's going on with your hand here, Phil?
My hand? It's very hairy. I have a very hairy hand. That is my hand.
Well,
see, that's the ring.
It's like wrinkled as fuck. Like, what's going on?
I'm old. I'm old. I'm in my 40s.
He's old and fucking like, whoa, it's like this withered fucking hand. Holy fuck, Phil.
I substituted the hand of Ebenezer Scrooge for the picture.
These strange fingers that you've got there, Phil. Holy fuck, and you're missing a finger.
That's right.
It looks like there's no thumb there, Phil.
You've caught me at my weakest moments, exposing my real hand before I add the prosthetics for stream.
Holy. Okay, so we got French fries.
Yes.
Looks like one of those hamburgers over there, Phil.
Those. Oh, no. Those are not hamburgers. Absolutely not. We would not have standard hamburgers in this house. We have bison burgers. That's what those are. Bison meat burgers. And let me tell you, if you've never had a bison burger before, you're missing out. Full of flavor, almost no fat. They are incredibly lean, but they are so juicy and delicious. You've got to try a bison burger if you've never had one before. They're amazing.
How much did those cost, Phil?
A pack of 4 bison burgers costs around $12, I want to say. They're pretty expensive, yeah.
$12, Phil. I know, Phil. It seems like you're being a mark, Phil. Seems like you're getting scammed, Phil, with the bison burgers.
Oh, listen,
buddy.
you can say that now, but you probably never had one. If you had a bison burger, you would know the difference. They are so good.
All right, you got the bison burgers. What else do we got in here? It looks like frozen fruit.
Yeah, there's some frozen fruit in there. There's some bread that's like a roll right there next to the fries, and various things. Some meals.
Why have you frozen this roll?
Oh, to save it for later. Because when you buy them, they come in like a pack of 6. I'm not going to eat 6 within like a day, and they get moldy if you don't. So you leave 2 out, you freeze the rest, you take them out and thaw them out when you want to eat them later. That way they don't go bad right away.
Okay.
There you go.
And then there's looks like more frozen pizzas, or what are those? Some sort of like.
Those are probably for my wife. Those are probably like, quick lean cuisines or something. If she gets home from work or she wants to eat something fast, or if it's like at night, before she goes to bed, she just wants to eat something light instead of something heavy with
The
cheese
lean
and shit.
cuisine, you say. Okay, it's like a frozen rice, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, like a rice dish. Exactly. Some of them are like fish too, like, light stuff. That's what's up there. So, but that's the top shelf. And that also, like right now, is jam packed. Actually, in reality, it doesn't always look like this. Like I said, the timing of the rum cake, couldn't have been worse because the freezer's full. There's no room.
Nick Jones goes, food storage is a complete mystery. The thing is, as soon as I get food, I just eat it. I don't actually store it whatsoever. If I see it, I eat it. And that's the way it goes. And then it ends up here.
In reality, I used to be like that too.
Baffled.
When I was young, when I was single, all right, and I started as a YouTuber, that was exactly my lifestyle. Whatever I had, I ate right away, or I ate fast food like every day. So I get it, but now that I'm older, you got a family, you got to do this. You got a store, you have to have these things for ingredients, Like what you didn't see, there's meat and stuff in there too. There's like some frozen chicken. There's actually leftover ham from Christmas. We got a big Christmas ham. We only cooked half of it. The other half is like in there frozen. So one day we'll thaw it out and we'll have like a big dinner of it, So that's what I mean. Is you save the stuff up, and that way you're not always constantly running out the door to have to buy more and more.
How does Christmas go at the Casa del Bernal, at the mansion?
We had a big meal. We had a big Christmas ham. I cut it in half. We cooked half. The other half we froze. Man, we had a lot. We had regular mashed potatoes. We had sweet potato mashed potatoes. We had, I think, was it green beans or sweet corn? It was either green beans or sweet corn. I get confused because we like both. We had like cranberry sauce. We had like a stuffing. We had like massive amounts of food, and we saved it. We had leftovers for like another 2 days, so we didn't have to cook for like 3 days straight.
Okay. Wow. What'd you get? You get any good Christmas presents this year, Phil?
The best present I get is to have a whole day with my wife and not have to worry about, work or noise.
So I heard apparently you're not doing Valentine's Day this year?
We're not doing it on Valentine's Day because we sat down to look and say, gee, do we want to do something for Valentine's? It's a Friday, and we're like out here, like every restaurant is super busy, especially it's Valentine's Day and Friday. It's like, oh God. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to plan a day off for ourselves later in the month after Valentine's is over. So that way you don't have all that extra busy bullshit.
But isn't Valentine's Day on a Friday for everyone though? It's not just
Of course.
But
yeah,
but you have like organized it a couple weeks in advance?
Well, we could have, but we just don't like going out on the busier days either. Like we would prefer, if we're going to have a day together, we'd like to have it on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. That way we can go out. We can just, not be inundated with a zillion people. Go into a store, feel like you're cramped in a can of sardines with other people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest. COVID sucked. But man, when COVID happened and there weren't a lot of fucking people out all the time and people had social distancing and shit, that was good. Like, wow, I'm not getting sick. People aren't being disgusting and up in my fucking face constantly. I enjoyed that time.
You actually enjoyed COVID. It fed into your hermetic lifestyle.
Correct. That's correct. Yes.
Do you consider yourself a hermit?
Well, maybe if I live by myself, but I'm a hermit, but I'm happily with a family that lives in my castle with me.
Right.
We're all behind the drawbridge together.
You're not solo in your hermitage of isolation and just going outside once a week. You do have, a family, which is good, right?
That's right. Excellent.
That's
Absolutely.
Right. So COVID was paradise for autistic introverts. Come on. Oh fuck.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we got
one more.
The
fridge. The MTV Cribs fridge.
All right.
Shack.
This is gonna just blow everyone's mind. This is going to you are never gonna believe the kind of stuff that you're gonna see inside of my refrigerator. Let me tell you guys. Some of these products, you probably have no idea what they are.
Well, there's the cherry juice. So the biggest item in the whole fridge is the fucking cherry juice. Because I was wondering, I'm like, Phil brought up the cherry juice for his gout. I'm like, it better be in there. Or else he's telling fibs. But there it is. Front and fucking center, the holy gout juice of Dark Side Phil.
That's right.
Gaze upon it, ye mortals, and despair.
Let me tell you something, all right? At first, when I was diagnosed with gout a decade ago, I started drinking this stuff because I was looking for homeopathic remedies so I didn't have to be on freaking, pills all the time to stop the swelling. And online, everyone claims tart cherry juice is the homeopathic remedy. It's not scientifically proven, but it seems to work for some people. So I went out and I got it. And let me tell you, depending on what brand you buy, some of them taste like fucking shit. It tastes like really bitter, sour, disgusting. You could get some others that actually don't taste as bad. This is one of the brands that I drink. It's a little more expensive, but it actually kind of tastes like real cherries, not like just tart ass.
The Smart juice.
Yes, it's good. I recommend this brand. I do.
Okay.
So
So then we've got, what is this, all liquor down on the bottom shelf, Phil?
No. How dare
It's
you?
all liquor.
That middle shelf is a variety of things. On the far left there, that's lemonade. And then in the middle is an alcoholic beverage. That's the 1800 margarita mix. So it's pre-made. So
Right.
I think it's like mango flavor. We've had that for months. We had that like since the fall. Every once in a while, we'll have a drink of that.
Story, Phil. You've had the margarita mix for months. You don't drink it all.
No,
Likely story, Phil.
absolutely not. No.
Okay.
And
sure,
then
kid.
next to that is actually the pure margarita mix that's not alcoholic. If we're gonna make a
Right, so
margarita with
there's
real
two
tequila.
Two different kinds of margarita mix on
Yes.
tap.
One
at all
alcoholic,
times.
one not. That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Then it appears as though we have now in the back there. Are those pickle spears?
Oh, probably, or some
those
kind
are
of.
green beans. What is that?
Which-
in the back?
Which shelf
On
are we
the
talking?
right-hand side,
Okay.
the right-hand bottom shelf. Are those like green beans, pickle spears? And then I see like in the back, what is that? Like is that
So
hummus?
So we got a lot of stuff down there. But whole bottom shelf from left to right, I believe on the left-hand side is a bunch of veggies. Like there's some kale and stuff like that. Sometimes we have, or we're having a salad or something. That's ground turkey, 2 pounds of ground turkey that you're seeing there. And we use that for things like tonight we ate one of those. We had it in turkey tacos. Okay. So that's it. I can't eat red meat, so I have the turkey alternative. Next to that is, what the hell is that? Hold on. I got to see it closer.
When was the last time you were back in there, Phil?
Oh, okay. Leftovers. That's leftovers. So right to the right of the turkey is leftovers. My wife made homemade meatballs the other night in a marinara sauce. And so that's some leftover homemade meatballs in a marinara. To the right of that, you're seeing
They
part
were
of like
telling
the...
me- Go ahead,
Oh.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were they telling
They
you?
were telling me that the marinara sauce has 6 tablespoons of sugar in it.
No. This isn't that recipe. When I first
Oh, okay.
moved out here, I started making a family recipe marinara, but I think it was wrong because the first pot that I made had a lot of sugar in it. I was like, this is way too sweet. I don't remember it tasting like this. So then I adjusted it over the years. I don't put a lot of sugar into if I make marinara sauce. I've tweaked it a lot over the years.
But wasn't that what made it good?
Let me put it this way. You should put some sugar in the marinara. It gives it a little bit of a different flavor, but the first batch I made was like so sweet. I was like, this can't be right. My mom must have misremembered the recipe because she says she makes it by hand, or by eye. She doesn't actually have it written down because she's done it so many times. So when she gave me the recipe, I think she was misremembering, the ratios of certain things because it definitely was too sweet that
Now-
first time.
We got one more. We got a press from chat. They're saying the liquor is open, but the cherry juice is not.
That's because I go through the cherry juice quicker. That cherry juice, that's 2 cups and it's gone. So in 2 days, that cherry juice is out of the fridge. While the liquor, I drink slowly, and every once in a while, I have a little more. So,
Okay. All right. Let's keep going through this. The refrigerator. I can't. There are people who are gonna analyze every single frame.
of course, they're gonna memorize this fridge. It's gonna be very important to them.
The fridge
Hours
is
of
a lot
content.
cleaner, I think, than a lot of people would have thought. Did you clean this before you
No,
took the picture? Or
absolutely not.
This is the standard of cleanliness.
I literally opened it, snapped the picture, and closed it. That was it. I didn't do any arrangement. The only arrangement I did was in the freezer, like you saw in the first freezer pic. I had to lift up the ice so you could see the ramen that was underneath it, because or else you wouldn't have been able to see that ramen. But here, this was literally just done. So no, I didn't scrub nothing. We like to try to keep a cleanly house. We don't try not to have a pigsty.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to get the full tour sometime. What we're gonna need the reorganizing the freezer.
Oh,
stream.
there you go. The freezer clean
The
out
re-
stream.
The freezer reorganization stream, because that rum cake will perish if we don't get it in there soon.
That's
We
right.
don't want to scam them. Well, actually, they're scamming you by not paying up. Honestly, you should just toss it in the trash, Phil.
Well, what are you
Just
gonna do?
fuck them over, Phil.
Or just eat it off camera entirely. Just don't mention it ever again.
The thing is, you have all of this food in your house, but then you do like feasting with the king and the trying it with Phil or whatever, and it's always fast food. Why don't you show people your home cooked meals, Phil?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, the appeal of DSP Tries It is that I'm usually trying something that my audience can easily get themselves. A lot of people outright say, we watch your review, and if it's something that looks good to us, we go try it right after. You can't do that with a home-cooked meal. I mean, you're not going to have the ability to make that yourself right away.
What if you gave out the recipe? And
I mean,
said to people, and you could encourage people, instead of buying fast food, to be healthy at home.
That, as true as that is, all right, and that is a good point, because some people have actually brought that up over the years too. I don't really cook. I don't. It's my wife that's the good cook here, you know? And
hold on, Phil. I have an idea. Then your groceries would be a tax write-off.
Oh,
Phil, you can claim your groceries on your taxes, bro.
No, actually, you wouldn't, because I already know about this. Trust me, I've looked into many things over the years.
You looked into it already. Oh,
you
go
can't.
ahead, King.
If it was a meal that was being made exclusively for a piece of content only, and it was only explicitly meant to be used for that content, then it's a tax write-off in the United States. If it's used for any other purpose, like let's say, for example, you cook the meal.
You eat all your meals on stream then, because you're streaming all day anyway. Boom.
Let me put it this way. I'm sure there are people who do it, but it's a gray area. And if the IRS wants to come after you for something stupid, that's something they will come after you for. They'll be like, so let me get this straight. You spent how much money on food, and you think you can write off everything on food forever? Are you out of your mind? And that's when they slap you with bullshit that you just don't need the hassle of.
You own the IRS. Like, even the Joker was scared of the IRS. Phil doesn't fear the IRS.
No, that is very much not true.
Phil, you defeated the IRS.
No,
you
listen.
defeated the U.S. government.
Listen. I pay so much money every year to do my taxes, you have no idea. If I told you how much I actually paid to have my taxes done, you would probably piss your pants, because people don't believe it, but I have to make sure everything is correct. I have everything, like the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, hours and hours of work. I guarantee you other content creators don't go through half the trouble I do because of who I am, because of the level of scrutiny I'm under, because of the harassment. I have to be sure everything is always right. So I don't fuck around with anything. I don't.
Like the 5,000 business expense.
That's right. I have to make sure everything is properly accounted for. I can't be fucking around. So,
well, didn't you like legally only turn like a $30 profit on paper every month with the $5,000 business expense?
I don't believe that's correct at all. I think that's what the detractors say, but I don't listen to their bullshit at all. Yeah. Here's the bottom line of that, because I've talked about this before. My story's never going to change on it. All right. I'm not a tax expert. I'm not supposed to be, right? That's what I pay a person for to do. Exactly. Thousands and thousands of dollars.
Game expert, yeah.
That's right. So I don't know how it really works. What I know is I have literal ginormous spreadsheets of data. Here's what I spend on this. Here's what I spend on this. Here's the cost of my office, my utilities, everything. That's provided to them. They figure it out. It's done right. It's filed every year. I pay what I got to pay. Sometimes I pay too much and it applies to next year. Sometimes I pay less and I owe more, whatever. But it's all done properly. I don't know the ins and outs. You know, I'm on side scrollers and we got fucking stuttering Craig, who I'm sure is a tax expert, right? Asking me specific questions about, well, what about this expense here? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not a tax dude. I don't know. That's what I pay someone for. I'm not going to waste my time scrutinizing this thing for an accredited business that's been in business for ages, that knows what they're doing. You know, this is crazy.
No, I never actually watched the stuttering Craig thing. Did you take like a piece of paper and you wrote down like all the expenses or what?
He was asking me where all my money goes, right? Like he really wanted to get into it. And I'm like, fine, here it is. I actually had it on my desk and I pulled it up and I'm like, here's where all my money goes every month. And I started reading it off. He had no interest in that. Instead, he's like, well, I want to know specifically on this month. Dude, I don't know. I'm not my fucking tax professional, nor am I going to tell you that shit anyway. That's none of anyone's fucking business. Why do I have to account for every single dollar I've ever spent? It's done properly, right? But these people will never let it go. They literally think I'm like a fucking supervillain mastermind. Like I had this elaborate plan to scam everyone.
I think that you are. I think that you are that man. And that's why I respect you and love you so much, because you defeated the IRS. You scammed the US government.
Oh
you
my
got
God.
away with everything. You got a judge to certify it. The statute of limitations, I think, is up almost. So one of these days, Phil will be able to lay out point by point for everybody how he defeated the U.S. government. And like, as a Republican, I think it's based. And I hope that this is the last year that Phil has to pay income tax. This is it. Trump and Elon Musk are getting it done for you, Phil. Don't worry about next year. Don't lay it aside. Don't worry. He's
you never
got
know.
you covered, bro.
No, you never know. Here's what I'm worried about. Here's what I'm worried about. I know this is a little political stuff now, all right? Yeah. They're talking about abolishing the complicated tax, right? Make it simple. Make it like a 2-page tax return and that's it. That's fine. But what's going to end up happening is it's going to be so simple that everyone's going to end up paying kind of the same. And my business, I have all this stuff going on. I have this office. This office is considered a tax write-off because it's a room in my house dedicated just to work. That's a huge tax write-off for me. You know, there's things that I get discounts on my taxes because I'm a small business and I have this ability to claim them. If they oversimplify the tax code, I'm worried I might actually end up paying more because I don't get my write-offs anymore. Oh. So I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, no one knows. No one's seen anything yet, right? It's just bluster and talk right now.
You're saying they're going to close the loopholes that allow you to scam the government?
There's no scam. There's no scam.
This isn't right, Phil. This isn't right. How can they do this to you, Phil? How can they actually make you pay taxes?
Unlike real rich people, I don't have the ability to have all my money tied up in investments and then use that as part of my wealth so that I can borrow money to pay for everything else. That's how rich people actually do it. They're so wealthy, okay? They have all these investments. They never pull out of the investments, so they never have to pay taxes on them. But based on their overall wealth, they then can go to the bank and be like, hey, I'm rich. Can I get a loan? And the bank's like, sure. So they give them the loan and they use the loan to pay for everything else. So they literally never pay taxes because their money just stays in investments forever. I don't have money in investments. I just started making good money in the last 6 to 7 months. I don't have that ability.
You don't have any investments?
No, I blew them all during those years when everything went wrong, you know, during the bankruptcy and everything. I had a retirement thing that got cashed out. Everything's gone. I'm starting from scratch. I'm trying to rebuild from the bottom now, you know?
All gone?
I didn't have that. I mean, I spent it all in the move. When I moved out here 10 years ago, I blew all my money basically on that move. I definitely got scammed by a few different places. I paid way too much for like the move itself. I paid way too much, and I paid too much to furnish the house, and I racked up credit cards. I screwed myself over, you know? So yeah, I got nothing right now. That's what I mean. I'm trying to rebuild.
They're calling you in chat the Wolf of Renton. It seems like you understand how all the markets work and everything.
I know everything. I just don't have the ability to take advantage of any of it because I don't have that flexibility.
What if we do day trading with Phil? What if every day you start playing the market and you don't give financial advice, but you let everybody know what your moves are in the market, Phil?
Oh, surely that would work.
Phil, I think it might work if you're like a financial guru and wizard. Like, you know better than these Wall Street guys.
Well, listen, already I've been presented.
Did you go to Harvard?
No, I didn't go to Harvard. I went to a Fairfield University business school, which is okay. It's just like a mid-level business school. It's nothing great or anything. But
you were the valedictorian though.
No, not college. No. College, I barely cared. It was high school. I was the valedictorian. But I'll tell you this: I'm being presented with interesting offers. For example, someone is asking me would I consider creating my own meme coin.
Yes. I want to set it up for you, son. We're going to fucking go to the moon. We're going to be so rich, Phil. Come on.
Who wants some king coins? King coins.
We're so rich with it, we're not even going to need to do tax fraud anymore, King.
There you go.
No, there's no tax fraud. It's fraud what the government does to Phil. That's the real fucking fraud. He shouldn't have to pay a fucking nickel or a dime. And the people who think that Phil should have to fucking pay a nickel or a dime, you people are what's wrong with America. You're why America is in the state that it is in right now, because you look to daddy government to solve all of your fucking problems. You look to the welfare state to suck off the teat of it. Shame on you. Phil deserves to keep his fucking money, and it's actually a fraud and a scam what they're doing to him. You ever think about that? I do think we should get you investing, though, Phil. I think you should lay out your portfolio, your investments of the week, and all this shit. I think it'd be great. Bro, if you just took a small portion of what you're definitely not spending on WWE champions and
zero.
put it in the market, you would be surprised in 10 years where it's at. Like, or you could invest in gold and protect against inflation.
Gold, oh boy, yes, the gold investments.
Phil, can you explain once again how gold it doesn't protect against inflation and it's a bad investment?
No, that's the kind of advice that I save for paid viewers. I'm sorry, so we have to, we have to be hitting some goals,
Okay, I just looked it up. The university you went to is $56,000 a year.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know what it was back then, but yeah, it was expensive. It's a private university.
Like going to fucking Harvard, bro.
Yeah, I did go on a scholarship, but it wasn't a full ride.
Okay, so you went on scholarship to a $56,000 a year institution?
Yep.
And now you play video games?
That's right. I really use that degree, don't I? It's very useful.
What the fuck happened?
It's a scam. That's what happened. Oh, you haven't heard this story? Oh, you see, you're not in on all the lore. You don't know the lore, man.
I don't know. What happened, sire?
Dude, it's all a scam because here's what happened, right? So I'm going to school and I'm busting my ass and I'm trying to, do it. And I'm probably about 2 years in. I'm like halfway through my sophomore year. And I'm broke. I need money to pay these loans that I have to go to this school.
I need that money to pay these loans. I really do.
Exactly.
I need that money. Yeah, no, okay, go ahead.
It's a meme that's true because most of the kids that were going to that school were rich kids, okay? Their parents were paying for their whole ride, so they were fine. I was not. I had like a half scholarship. That's all they would give. They wouldn't give you a full ride scholarship to this place. So I had loans to pay for the rest of my tuition. So I was busting my ass. I was working 40 hours a week while I was full-time at university to get this done. I couldn't afford it otherwise. So here I am busting my ass, right? So I go, it's like maybe senior year now, okay? And I'm starting to look for jobs. I'm starting to apply. Every job in the sector, because I was actually, of all things, a finance major, okay? And so I apply for the jobs like, everything you would think. An investment firm, a bank.
I just gotta ask, like the irony that a finance major went bankrupt. Fuck.
That's right. That's really useful.
It really is a scam. What a scam. Go ahead.
It's a complete scam because I'm applying around and every job that I'm applying to says, well, what experience do you have? I said, what do you mean? I'm 24 years old. I'm about to graduate university. What experience could I have? Well, didn't you do any internships? What are you talking about? Internships? Yeah. While you were at university, you were supposed to be doing unpaid internships for free as a full-time job while you're also going to school. I said, well, how would I have done that? I was working full-time to pay for school. Therein lies the rub. The only people in the United States who get the good jobs in the finance sector are already rich because they don't have to work to pay for school. So then they can apply and they can do these internships and they go right into Wall Street when they graduate. Me, I had none of that because I had to work my way through school. So I graduate and I literally have a degree that's worthless. I might as well wipe my ass with it because it didn't get me anything. I couldn't get any jobs.
Because a lot of these programs require a placement, like an internship. There was no requirement for you to have a placement whatsoever anywhere.
The only thing that I did do a short-term internship over one summer with a life insurance company to sell life insurance. And let me tell you, it was also a scam. Just listen to this.
What do you mean life insurance is a scam?
Listen to this. Dude, you have so much lore to get caught up on. Seriously, you would have a field day. We got to do a stream. Seriously, we got to do a stream where we just go through my lore because you'll be blown away by hearing this stuff.
Maybe we do a walkthrough year by year Phil's life and get the lore dump. In grade 7, Phil was bicycling to the sandbox or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, life insurance is the worst. So basically, either you sell them a whole bunch of stuff and make them money, or else they tell you, oh, you're horrible, and now we're going to bill you. That's what they did to me. So I worked the whole summer for this life insurance company. At the end of the summer, I hadn't done enough sales for them for free. And they said, oh, here's a bill for the rental of the desk that you worked at and the phone line that we gave you to sell life insurance.
You're a closer, Phil.
Do you know what I responded? I literally responded. I wrote them a letter. I said, go fuck yourself. I'm never paying you $1. That's what I should have mailed them the spoon.
Get out of your ass, Phil.
Yeah. Let me say it this way. I didn't pay them a dime, and they never fucking contacted me ever again. But then, get this, they broke employment law in Connecticut. So in the state of Connecticut, if you're employed by anyone, and then someone calls you for
an independent contractor, weren't you?
Was still considered I had worked for them for a temporary period of time, for that like 3-4 month period. So in the state of Connecticut, where I lived, if someone calls for like a referral call, like I'm calling, oh, this person's interviewing with our firm, you know, how did they do for you? In the state of Connecticut, you cannot say anything negative at all. It's actually against the law to shit talk someone who worked for you. You have to say, I abstain. Guess what happened? The guy who I worked for shit talked me. He actually broke the law. He started saying, Phil's a bum. Phil doesn't work. Phil doesn't do that. It was all a lie. But he was mad that I didn't get him tons of sales. So he basically shit talked so that I wouldn't work in the sector. I was like, wow, what a nice guy, huh?
Well, you ended up in the sector in the end anyway. All right, let's move on. What's up? So they put up these signs of you saying that you need to get a job at the WWE.
Oh, yes.
Event, you know?
That's right. I definitely don't have
that degree to work, brother.
I definitely don't have a job. That's right. I got to get out there. I got to start really filling out those applications left and right.
What's the deal with this? Like, you're an you must be like super famous. Like, there not just one, there were like 2 signs.
Well, no,
these guys put up.
Actually, it's the same. I'll show you. We got the two pictures here. It's two. Basically, the first picture here is the person posing with the sign, and they posted this on their social media before the Royal Rumble began. So that's them actually with the sign showing it off. And then they were trying desperately to get it on the air. They couldn't get it on the main show, but they managed to get it on the pre-show. They snuck it in.
How does it make you feel, Phil?
Listen,
when they make fun of you like this, Phil?
Does it
hurt you in your heart, Phil?
Do you see anyone else getting this kind of publicity? Honestly, let's be honest. For free? Do you see anyone else's name getting thrown out there on a show that had over 3 million viewers live?
Because I think earlier in the week you were kind of seething about it, Phil. You're kind of upset, weren't you, Phil?
You know, in truth, this has happened many, many times before, okay? This has actually been like a running thing for maybe 6-7 years where they've been going to like Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views, and they try to get a sign like that onto the show. And they've showed me, many times that sometimes it gets on, sometimes it doesn't. So the first time, like maybe like 7 years ago, the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, what a fucking life loser and shit like that. At this point, I think it's just kind of funny. I think it's a meme. Like they want to get noticed. Like the guy actually had posted on this post here, his first post, he had said, actually, I had a Christian sign, but I didn't want to risk it. So instead, I'm doing other signs today, so hopefully they won't know who this is so I don't get kicked out, because I guess he got kicked out of a show for having a Christian sign before. So basically, he was trying all different things, and maybe if I do DSP, they won't know who he is, so they won't kick me out. And it worked. They didn't kick him out because they didn't know what it was.
No, so you're saying that nobody knows what DSP is?
In real life, no. Do you think people at the WWE arena know who the fuck I am? Of course they don't know who I am, but it's free publicity.
No! Sire, you're supposed to be a megastar. You're more famous than all of them combined. That's why you got a sign. Oh, man. All right. Well, there's another sign here that I was sent. It says, DSP, stop wasting money on a mobile game and get a job.
They put that much on the sign? That's like way too much, too wordy. Right, for a sign.
I'm sending it through. Have a look at this.
Let's look here. That sounds shitty. Oh, this is fake. This is fake. That's not real.
It's not a fake sign.
There's no way that's real. I don't believe that's real at all.
Stop wasting money on a mobile game and get a real job.
That looks completely photoshopped. There's no way that's real. That's fake.
Would it matter if it was real or not? Does it? I don't. It's real, bro. There's a little girl that's pressing you. Apparently, 11-year-old
Yes.
girls are detractors. Well, speaking of, I saw this clip of you battling an 11-year-old girl. Did you know
Oh,
what I'm
yes.
talking about?
The only time I can think of is many years ago when VR chat first had started and was like really, really popular. My fans wanted me to try it just for the hell of it. So I jumped on VR chat and ran into probably the most biggest brat I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe she was like behaving that way and had no parental supervision. So
I have it. I have the clip. I found it. Should we play it?
we can well
DSP versus the 11-year-old, and then we'll review the Royal Rumble.
actually, you want to know the truth? We shouldn't play it on the show because my detractors
no?
will then flag the show and get the show demonetized. They will.
Really?
Yep, because they
What
did it to that
piece of
video.
shit?
They did it to that
Really?
video. They've done that. How dare he say that to the girl or whatever? And YouTube, in truth, it's cleared up now. Like I talked to YouTube years later and said, "Can we just fucking forget about this?" And they did. Like they fixed it. But that's the problem with YouTube. Like if you do it now, you'll get in trouble. But things you've done in the past, they're kind of like, all right, you get it passed. It's like old, right? But I don't want to get our new show demonetized. So, I mean, people know what it is. It's the VR chat clip where the girl was being a brat and she was being really rude to everyone in the room. And people were just like coming in, not knowing what this room is. And she's like, get over here, do this. Can't you read this? Like, Jesus Christ, this girl. Like she has no manners, So I think I'd said something like, geez, in real life, I would slap her. She deserves a slap or something like that for that kind of language.
I think you said you would slap the shit out of that brat or something like that.
There you go.
And now, what was interesting is that you didn't say anything directly to the child. You waited until the child was out of the lobby.
Of course.
You shit talked the child.
Well, you don't want the child to go running to her parents, and you have some rich fucking person try to get you in trouble or something. You never know.
We have another sign here, Phil. It says, DSP, you have an addiction. We have, look at all these signs. Holy fuck, they're just sending them to me, on Twitter. Like, here's the sign,
These are probably the ones over the years. Yeah, they've done these for many different years.
So many.
Yep. Some of them are fake, though, but some of them are real.
Holy. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. Do we have any contributions?
We do. Let's get to it now because we've saved them all. We haven't shouted anything out yet. So let's get to that. Let's start on the YouTube side of stuff. So first off, we started with Stanley6, who did a $2 super chat and said, yo, I don't know if that's a reference to the bad guy or not. But thank you to Stanley for the $2 super chat. We got a $2 super chat from Pepsi Man. When will Hollywood Ethan Ralph become the third chair of Smark Guys?
We invited him to be third chair, but he declined. He had to go to rehab in Mexico because he's an alcoholic, pill-popping felon. It's tough.
We've got Rush S, who did a $5 super chat. Says, I'm a longtime detractor, but I love Smark Guys, the sector of the internet wrestling community. PPP, any chances that you would reach out to Ethan Ralph for guest? I guess they're all talking to each other.
Really wanted. Listen, he's
there. You
gone.
go.
He doesn't even do his own show anymore. There's nothing we can do.
So here's the thing. Whenever you get two people in a row who do that, you know that they're sitting on their little Discord server having their little kumbaya talk about what to say on the show. There's no way that the two people just magically came up with the same idea at the same time. It's definitely the same little group of, circle jerking friends.
They're trying to push a narrative, Phil. They're astroturfing narratives against you, sire.
Very nice. We had Dick Jones gifted 5 memberships tonight to the community. So thank you to Dick Jones. That's a good amount. Let's get that up there on the leaderboard.
One of the only people actually pulling through. Good job, Dick.
Then we've got Cave Teeth had re-upped their membership. Thank you, Cave Teeth, for re-upping your membership to the channel. Dat Plea over there. I don't know how to say their name. They did a $10 super chat and says, fellas, have you given NXT a shot? They've got 3 varieties of goth girl, a beach babe, 2 muscle mommies, and 10 big booty Latinas and black queens, a straight up gooner utopia. Don't tell Razor Fist, though.
Well, Phil's not interested in that. Phil, are you into the fucking muscle mummies and the goth titties and all that?
I am approaching wrestling from a pure academic standpoint as a scholar of the history of wrestling. I don't have any kind of an investment otherwise.
Maybe we'll do NXT. So not only do they have NXT, the developmental brand now, Phil, but did you see this on Raw?
Uh-huh.
They have the Evolve show now.
Oh,
So
no, I
they
didn't
have-
see that.
They
Okay.
have a developmental show for developmental that's on Tubi. You ever use Tubi, Phil?
I only used Tubi once, like 2 years ago. Someone wanted me to react to a movie or something, and it was only on Tubi. So I downloaded the app and watched the one movie. It's like free shows, right? Like completely free, but ads are in them, I think.
Yeah. It's actually, they got some good stuff on there. They have a lot of good stuff on there. You wouldn't think that they do. There is a lot of garbage and low budget shit, but they do have some good stuff on there as well. But yeah, I guess there's another WWE show, as if there's not enough wrestling.
Oh,
There's
wow.
now a developmental league for the developmental, so
Wow.
we'll get to that. Okay, anything else?
Yes, we had a Captain Based Pants actually became a member tonight and said Erwin R. Shyster has jobbed out to DSP. There you go. But that is not true.
That's right.
He's a
You
great
did.
wrestler.
You
He's a great wrestler.
own IRS. You own
No.
Erwin.
He hit me with the briefcase. You always got to pay the taxes, man. Let me tell you. You have to, all right?
No! You were supposed to defeat the IRS, Phil. You're the chosen one.
Whoa.
You're
We have some tips to get to, but Rare Tricks just dropped 5 subs over on Kick. Thank you.
Huge 5 subs from Rare Tricks over there on Kick. It would have been better if there was a 0 at the end of that and we got 50.
Well, you see, it
But-
would have, but you don't realize this. Rare Tricks is the person who bought me the Italian rum cake, and it's coming tomorrow.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Are we eating it tomorrow or it's going to be Friday? Or...
I want to save it for the marathon. Like, that was the intention, is that it was going to be a segment of the marathon where I cut the cake and we celebrate 100 goals hit. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if we can get the marathon. Again, if you contribute tonight to the show, you're actually contributing to my goals and to hitting that marathon earlier.
Let's remember that. We got to hit the goal tonight.
Gotta
so we
do
can
it.
Do the marathon, and we're going to do the chicken dance if we hit the goal. No.
I don't even remember the chicken dance. What the hell's the chicken dance?
You don't know the chicken dance?
I did it when I was a kid. I don't remember it.
I get you to do it, Phil.
I'll do the Macarena. The Macarena. Oh, wait, I don't want to give it for free. I can do the Macarena. There you
We're
go.
going to do them both. We'll do both the Macarena and the chicken dance. It's going to be the best.
There you go.
Got to hit that goal.
We got a couple of tips here. We got a $5 tip from Slayer. Slayer says, I just want to say, I enjoyed last week's Smart Guys show. My thoughts on the Rumble, I enjoyed it. I knew that if Charlene was in it, she was probably going to be the favorite to win. But, I was kind of hoping that Io Sky would be an underdog. But then the Jax, did her thing, and all that happened. Jey Uso, very unexpected. My friend almost wants to refund his WrestleMania tickets now.
Yeah, I think he should.
Wow.
I think he shouldn't support this garbage.
Wow.
I mean, I predicted Charlotte, though, but I don't think anybody thought Jey Uso was going to win this Rumble.
Right.
We'll get into it in a sec. But
And then he also mentioned Joe Hendry. He says, I've known him all the way since back in the promotions like WCPW and Defiant Wrestling. He was even good as a wrestler and a promo guy back then. He was wrestling guys like Kurt Angle and Drew McIntyre like in that group. So that's kind of cool. I didn't know who Joe Hendry was, but dude, that entrance theme was like epic. Like they started saying, I'm like, what the hell? It's like they're changing all inspirational themes for this guy coming out, and then he jobs out right. I'm like, oh my god. There was a $2 tip here. Let's take a look from Flatman B, who says, "We're about to suffer, bitches." Laughing out loud. So,
Stuff a bitch.
thank you very much. I think we're caught up, so we're at $49 of support right now.
Oh, it's over, Phil. I think the show might be canceled.
Oh no. Well, all right, super chat just came in. Let's see here. It's actually Dat Pila over there. I don't know why I didn't read. It's Dat Pie over there. Did a $5 super chat and said, "It's so great WWE is launching Evolve on Wednesdays at 8. There's literally nothing that I can think of that I would watch during that time slot. The show's going to be dynamite."
That's right. Man, it's going to be tough when that show does more viewers than AEW. It's going
Wow.
to be brutal. It's on free, Tubi. A lot of people use Tubi. So who knows what viewership it'll get. Probably not a lot, though.
All right. All right, so $54. That's where we're at right now. for our contributions. So
let's get some support. Let's get some subs for this, guys. Phil showed us his fridge and freezer. Come on. Maybe the wrestling show should be about the wrestling. You know, maybe we shouldn't go on a 30-minute extended session about Phil's education and if he got scammed and all of this shit. I didn't even plan. I was like, oh, we're just going to talk wrestling. Then we got into it. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm telling you, there's something there to do one day do like a lore show covering all this shit that I've never had like one central place where someone's just like talked to me and interviewed me about this kind of stuff. So I might be something for the future to think about.
Yeah, continued interview stories behind the snort, the Phil Burnell story.
There you go. Behind the snort, my loud snorting.
Behind the bag. Remember that behind the lines or behind the, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Oh, Ted Rudolph for another $5. Let's go.
Yeah, but that's $5 Canadian. That's only like $3 and like 50 cents, man.
Oh, buddy, it's not good enough. Let's get some subs. Where is the support on the kick side? Let's make it happen. All right. WWE Royal Rumble 2025 review.
Oh, hold on. Truth Seekers with a $10 super chat. Truth Seekers says,
oh my God.
Where is my interview? I need you to teach me how to grift and praise the cash better. There you go.
Are you going to grant him an interview, Your Majesty, or is he beneath your purview? What do you think?
Well, hold on. Truth Seekers. This is someone that you know, right? This is someone who's been on your show.
Tomorrow. He really wants to interview you and press you about your grifts, your scams, your lies.
Really? Well,
he really does, and he's been trying. He said to me, he's like, Phil keeps telling me next week, and then it never comes.
We'll have to. Well, I'm waiting. Actually, I'm waiting on his response right now about that. We actually have talked about it. So.
Oh, you're waiting on his response. This is never gonna happen, is it? You keep stringing this poor man along, Phil. He has a family. He has kids. Oh. He needs this opportunity to felt you, Phil.
I see.
Come on.
He needs it. It's desperation.
You gotta let Steve come on and felt you, Phil. Come on.
Okay, I just received a $6 tip from Alex from Phoenix, who says, do you know the 6 degrees of separation thing? There is only 1 degree of separation between Phil and Joe Hendry. That is what? Adam Pacitti, who used to book Hendry in WCPW.
Really?
How is that 1 degree of separation? Because I know Adam Pacitti, like I know who he is, but I've never had like any major interaction with him or anything.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like your co-host or something.
No, Adam. Like I know Adam Pacitti. He used to be part of one of those internet wrestling, journalism groups and stuff like that. And I know that then they went into running their own federation and stuff, but I've never really talked to him. I was on a wrestling commentary show, podcast show several months ago, but that Adam Pacitti has been part of that show, but he wasn't on the show that I was on. It was like a different show. Maybe that's what he's talking about, but I never actually did anything with Adam Pacitti. So.
Okay. All right, unless there's any other contributions, I guess we're going to finally start reviewing wrestling here.
I guess so.
All righty, folks, let's get into it. WWE Royal Rumble 2025 review. The show is in packed arena in Indianapolis. There were over 60,000 people in attendance for this show, and you could see just how many people were there. It was an incredible turnout. I think it was the highest attended Royal Rumble in history, they were saying, right, Phil?
They were saying it was like the most historic Rumble. I don't know if that's exactly what they were referencing, right? The attendance or whatever. They were saying it was like the biggest one ever. So maybe that's exactly what they meant is the attendance.
They're saying it was 70,000. Was it 70,000? Because I remember throughout the week, the build up to it, they were like, we've sold 64,000 or was it 65,000 tickets? I don't know what the final number was, but it was the highest attended Royal Rumble of all time. I did notice, though, did you notice throughout this show that sometimes the production wasn't as smooth? as it would normally be. I don't know if it was like the way it was set up. Like, it was very subtle things, but it just seemed to me like some of the shots that they were doing and things like that, it was almost like it was out of place, like the timing was off. Did you notice that, or am I alone on that?
I didn't notice anything that was standing out majorly, but I did make a note that it didn't look as good, honestly, as the first Raw at Netflix. Like, the first Raw at Netflix felt like WrestleMania to me, right? Like, it had that vibe and that high level of polish and production value. This show, because it was only 4 matches, it felt like transition match and then like a backstage vignette or something, and it kind of jumped around and it didn't feel as smooth or polished. So I don't know if it was someone else in charge that night or whatever. But, yeah, I definitely thought that it wasn't like WrestleMania level. It was still good, though.
Yeah. Stephanie comes out to open the show. She welcomes everybody to the Royal Rumble. It was okay to see Stephanie. You know, I'm not really like a huge mark for Stephanie. I'm surprised they're honestly still having her on shows because she's a McMahon. And it kind of is surprising to me that they haven't just completely wiped that away. But she opened up the show. We had the Women's Royal Rumble match to open the show, which I figured would open the show.
It almost always does, right?
Yeah.
Like, every Royal Rumble, it's the curtain jerker for some reason. I don't know why they continuously do it that way, but...
I guess because they have to have the Men's Rumble last, because it's what everybody is really into. It's what they build towards. It's what the big prize is the Men's Rumble.
Oh, by the way... Dr. Herbert West did do a 5-sub bomb on Kick. For some reason, it didn't show up in chat, and everyone said what happened, but he did do it.
There we go. Okay,
so thank you.
There we go. We're starting to build there. We're starting to build towards it. Okay. So, Io Sky opened up the Women's Royal Rumble match. She was number 1. Liv Morgan was number 2 in this match.
Never a good sign when you're opening the Rumble and you're like one of the big picks to win it, and everyone's like, oh, no, she's number 1. There's no way she's going to win this thing now.
The odd time I think they have had number 1 win. I think, what did they have Shawn Michaels win from the number 1 spot way back?
And was it a Rey Mysterio as well, I think? It was Michaels and
Rey Mysterio, I think, might have been number 1 as well, because Rey was in the Rumble for over an hour the year that he won it. But again, I'm not like a Rumble historian with all of the statistics and facts and stuff like that. I'm going to be honest. When it comes to this Women's Royal Rumble match, I actually fell asleep. I'm not kidding. Straight up, around, I think it was number 8 or 9. I fell the fuck asleep, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
So, the prior day, I was up doing Kino Casino till probably 3, 4 in the morning. Then, after that, I'm wired. I'm up for a few more hours, so I probably passed out around 7, 8 in the morning. But UFC was on at noon. And I had bets on for UFC, so I had to wake up for UFC at noon. Then I watched UFC till 3. And I'm like, okay, I have a 3-hour window to nap before the Royal Rumble. So I laid my head down, I nap, I get back up, I'm like, all right, it's time for the Rumble. I'm so excited, I'm so hyped for the Women's Royal Rumble. And I start watching it, and it's like number 3 is Roxanne Perez. Who the fuck is this? And it's that new girl, Laya Valkyrie, at 4. I'm like,
oh, you love her. You love her chin.
Oh, yeah. No, she's a fucking big chin fucking creature. I'll tell you that. Then we had Chelsea Green. And I'm like, okay, Chelsea Green. But then when it was number 6, B-Fab.
Yeah. You're like, what?
This is when I started to fucking like, just like, I'm like, oh, like the energy was being sucked from my body. Then it was that Ivy Nile girl.
Yeah, from American Made, right.
I think the final straw for me was number 9, Lash Legend. And I'm
Lash Legend? I put question. Who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck is this person? And this is one of the problems with these Royal Rumble matches. They're so long. And a lot of the people in these matches, I don't know who the fuck they are. And I don't think anybody knows, especially the Women's Royal Rumble. It's like jabroni after jabroni after jabroni. the music hits, and you have no idea. It's like this super generic fucking theme. A lot of these people are from NXT or they're on the main roster, but they're never fucking used. So I think the last thing that I saw was Bianca Belair coming out. I fell right the fuck asleep. I woke up as the bell rang and I saw Charlotte Flair win. I go, that makes sense. And then I was awake for the rest of the show. But this was like, I don't know, Phil. I thought that this was pretty shit from what I fucking saw.
Okay.
So I missed out on Trish Stratus coming out, which was one of the big surprises. Who was the other big surprise? Alexa Bliss.
Yes,
Alexa
Bliss returning. Yes.
What did you think of the Women's Royal Rumble? Obviously, Charlotte was the winner.
Right. For me, definitely, it was more interesting because, number one, I haven't seen the Royal Rumble in like 5 years, right? So for me, immediately, I am more interested. Plus, I haven't watched WWE product in so long. I knew I was going to be seeing people I have never seen before, and I was interested who's going to be in this thing. My problem with the Women's Rumble, all right, is that whoever booked it, all right, it is so formulaic. It is so repetitive. It is so boring because it's the same thing over and over. Music hits, woman comes out, does the pose, hits the ring, takes out everyone, eliminates no one, but takes out everyone. And then, ding, the bell rings, the next person comes out, here's the intro, hits the ring, takes out everyone. This went on, no exaggeration, for like 30 minutes. Like, no one was eliminated.
It's like really mind-numbing. That's the thing is, it was like for the first 7 or 8 people, no one was eliminated.
Right.
And this is why I fucking fell asleep. I'm like, this is so boring. Nothing is happening. Half of these people, I don't even know who the fuck that they are. And I don't think that a lot of people watching know who's, like, I don't know how many people know who Lash Legend is. Like,
You're right.
I'm going to be real. Like, I you know, and there's like so many, like Maxine Dupree, like as I like read some of these names, Jada Parker. Who the fuck is Jada Parker? You know what I mean?
In my opinion,
Mission.
I don't know. Oh no, I know who that is. She used to be on NXT, and then they changed her name 17 times. She was in like 7 different groups, and they kept shuffling her around. She's the one who's married to Keith Lee, actually. But
oh man, but go ahead, Phil. Yeah.
For me, the best Royal Rumbles, the best Royal Rumble is, yes, you start out like that. The first few people are coming out and they do their spot. But then what you want some person who disrupts the flow, someone who's so big or so notable that now all of a sudden that person has like a feud with someone in the ring. So now they go at it and now all of a sudden some people get eliminated. That was never happening in this Women's Rumble. Like it wasn't until maybe the last 15 minutes of the Rumble where women were significantly having these face-offs and having issues and getting eliminated. Like probably around the time Alexa Bliss went in there. But even then, if the Rumble is so packed that the women have to squish to the sides of the ring so that the 2 women coming in can fight, that's stupid. Like they should have people being eliminated.
People in the ring, too many people. And it's just like the match, there's the one spot where pretty much everybody got eliminated all at once. Because I went back and I saw some of the highlights. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where Nia Jax like eliminated 7 people.
That's correct. That was the big thing where finally Nia hit the ring and just pushed them all out all at once, right?
It looked so fucking bad.
Well, it always does with her.
It was just terrible, this fucking spot. I mean, Trish Stratus is still fucking fine as hell, though. She's hot as hell. For as old as she's in her 50s, I think now. And damn, is she ever fine, you know, going back and checking it out.
She was the originator of all of that. Honestly, like she started that whole era of all of a sudden now all the women's matches were going to be bra and panties matches, mud wrestling matches, all that shit. It was her and Stacy Keibler were like the 2 that really started that era in WWE. The fact that she's coming back still and still wrestling and doing well, it's crazy to see that throwback.
When you compare the structuring of the men's Rumble to this women's Rumble, and how, like, in the men's Rumble, so many stories were intersecting.
Yes.
And callbacks to stuff that you had seen on Raw in various feuds. And we'll get into it when we get into it. That Rumble, I thought, was put together really, really, really well. And as I was watching it, I was saying to myself, this might be the best Royal Rumble I've ever fucking seen. Now, it kind of gets to a point there where it falls off the rails, but this women's Rumble, to me, it was mind-numbing. It was predictable as fuck. Everybody and their mother knew that Charlotte Flair was winning this match. People hated it. You saw it on Raw the following night. They rejected it.
Yep.
They shit on Charlotte Flair so bad, Charlotte had tears in her eyes. Now, I don't know if that was from her divorce, which we'll get into a bit later.
Oh, wow.
Or if that was just the crowd rejecting her, or what the fuck. But it was bad, man. It's just a bad result. I don't think anybody was happy with this match, with the result of it. And it feels like all of the women outside of Charlotte and Rhea Ripley are just an afterthought on this programming, which I guess is still better than AEW, where all of the women are a fucking afterthought. But it really doesn't feel like it's special at all. It really doesn't. You know, Alexa Bliss, I don't really think she made a huge impact in this match. She returned. People were speculating Becky Lynch might be back. She wasn't in this match. It was disappointing not to see her. And I don't even really like Becky Lynch, but it would have been nice to see her. This match, though, at least had like the Trish Stratus legend return, which the biggest problem I have with the men's match, where are the legends? Where are like the gimmick spots or the returns? That was something that was completely absent. I don't think we had one legend or veteran come back this year.
Nope.
And I think that was sad.
And no crazy spots outside the ring where someone's, trying to survive on the ring apron or trying to survive on the edge, do none of those crazy things. If you want, I took every spot and we could just go very quick through it and see.
Go through
how
it,
about
I just like stole somebody's write-up of the women's match because I fell asleep and didn't finish the notes. But yeah, go ahead through the spots if you want.
All right.
We'll talk about
So it's Io Sky and Liv Morgan starting it out. Obviously, they already have a rivalry, so that's the beginning of the Rumble. It makes sense. These two, the Judgment Day versus Damage Control. They don't like each other. Like you said, Roxanne Perez comes out at number 3. She's from NXT, I believe, still, right? She still hasn't hit the main roster. So she does her thing. Lyra Valkyria comes out at 4. And, she's a champion. I was confused. I was like, oh, the women, the champions are in this match too. And I guess, yes, with the Women's Rumble, all the champions are in this thing, which I didn't understand. But then I was, oh, okay, I guess they're all in it. Chelsea Green came out at 5. Interesting that she's doing the hot mess angle because that's the angle that she was doing in the other federations before she came to WWE. And when she first came to WWE, they weren't doing the hot mess angle, and now they are. I guess they're just reiterating what worked in the other federations. And then let's see. Then I said B-Fab who at 6? Never heard of them. Had no clue.
I had never heard of them, and I was like, this is gonna fucking suck, isn't it? Because in previous women's rumbles, I've had the same problem where it's I don't know who these people are. But go ahead, yeah.
Ivy Nile comes in at number 7 from American Made to the "You Suck" chants, the same ones that Gable gets. So that was kind of a nice spot that someone else is getting that rub too. Zoe Stark at 8. Don't really know much about her. I know she was just coming up in NXT when I stopped watching. So I guess now she's on the main roster in one of these groups. I guess it's the PFC group or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know what the hell they are. And basically, this is where I made my note. Literally, everyone just gets a spot when they enter. They take everyone out, but no one eliminates anyone, and then the match continues with the next entrant. It's just been the same for 8 entries. Lash Legend at 9, had no clue who the hell she was. I did note she's supposed to be 5'11", but compared to everyone else in the ring, she looks like she's Andre the Giant. So can you imagine how short these women actually are in real life? If she's 5'11", she's my height, and she's like towering over all of them. I'm like, oh my God. So Chelsea takes out B-Fab at this point, and I think that was the first elimination of the match. So almost 10 women were in the ring before one was eliminated. Bianca comes in at 10. Shayna Baszler comes in at 11. Sad for Baszler because Baszler at one point was getting a really big push as the champion of NXT, and then she came to the main roster. It seems like they botched the shit out of her, right? Like she's at this point.
She's done. There's no real push behind her anymore. I don't think anybody's that interested in her anymore. I think she was she teaming with Ronda Rousey?
Right. And then I think they had that match, like the fake MMA match that was terrible. Everyone hated it. Yes. So now, basically, and then Ronda left. So now she was just high and dry and has nothing to do anymore. So at this point, Ivy eliminated Lyra Valkyria, And that was the first actual piece of storyline in the whole Rumble because they're going to have an IC title match. So at least there's one piece of story. And at this point, we're like 20, 30 minutes in, right? And finally, there's one story being told. Bayley came in at 12, and then they mentioned that she actually won the Royal Rumble last year, which I did not know. And then a big thing was made to do that Michael Cole always hated her on commentary, but now for some reason he likes her. And they made a big thing of like, why do you like her now, Cole? And it's like, he doesn't say anything. So it's like, gee, because
I'm really glad I was asleep for this, man.
yeah, exactly. Like, see, there's nothing really going on. You know, Sonya Deville comes in at 13, and now it's her with her group, PFC. They're all in there together, and they started like stomping people together. Maxine Dupree comes out at 14. She basically does both Chad Gable and Otis's moves from when they were together in American Alpha, and she beats the crap out of Ivy and eliminates Ivy, but then she ends up getting eliminated by PFC anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Naomi comes in at 15, and then all of a sudden, Sonya, Zoe, and the other one, Shayna, who are PFC, they all get eliminated back-to-back, so even though it looked like they might have been dominant, they're already out halfway through the Rumble. Whoever the hell Jada Parker is came in at 16. Lash Legend hit Jada by accident, even though they were trying to team up because they were both from NXT, and then Chelsea eliminate Lash Legend. Piper Niven comes in at 17. I guess now she's playing the role of the bodyguard of Chelsea Green, and she's wearing an outfit that was like weird green foil, and it totally reminded me of something that like Awesome Kong would have worn like back in the day when she was in like TNA, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So let's see. Tons of spots, but a bit rough with a lot of different kinds of suplexes and stuff, like a lot of suplexes. Kind of reminded me of like what Lesnar was doing for a while there. Jordan Grace comes in at number 19, and this is the first time that I had known that she was in WWE. Like, I know she'd been
She
other.
looks way different now, huh? She has gotten really good shape.
She
now.
lost all the weight, right? She looks like a different person. I didn't even, if they didn't say this is Jordan Grace, I would have not known that was Jordan Grace. I would have thought it was another NXT jobber or something. But I was like, holy shit, that's Jordan Grace now. She looks so different. She lifts up Piper Niven and gives her a Death Valley driver immediately. So, I mean, that was kind of impressive.
That's an impressive spot. I missed that, but that is an impressive spot. I could see that being pretty cool. Yeah.
So then we had Mishin at 20. So if you don't know, she used to be, I forgot what her name was in NXT, and she was a contender for the title for a while. Then she came to the main roster. She was in that really shitty group when they were all wearing like hockey masks and shit. I can't remember what the hell that name of the group was. So she was part of them for a while. Then Keith Lee left WWE, so she got bounced around. So now I guess she's part of this other group that's formed. I don't know. Oh, Mia Kim. That was her name. Mia Kim. Yes, that, or when she was in NXT. So then the big surprise was, I almost said Alexander. Alexa Bliss at number 21 comes back, and she's still doing the Funhouse doll angle. Like, she's dressed up in the dress.
I can't believe that they're still gonna do that shit. That shit is terrible.
Yeah.
It's super fucking lame and corny and cheesy, and it does not fit in at all with what the rest of the product is. And I guess they're doing it because they sold a lot of those dolls and a lot of that merchandise.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, what a waste of her.
It's confusing because they already have Wyatt Six. So who the hell is she going to be now in that group? Or is she going to be the leader, but they already have a leader? I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me at all.
Sister Abigail again, but all of that stuff with Wyatt Six, I mean, we haven't even seen them on Raw.
Right.
Since we started watching, and on the one episode of SmackDown I watched this year, I didn't see them either.
Huh.
So I don't really know what the fuck that they are doing. I guess they're in a feud with The Miz or Karrion Kross or something like that. But it's not given a lot of attention or time.
Right.
And, you know, Alexa Bliss, if they brought her back as her old character and maybe gave her a heel run, it would be maybe somebody for, you know, somebody to feud with. You know, she's a good talker. She's decent. I don't know. I don't know why that they're insisting on that, but they are, so we're gonna have to deal with it. It's gonna drag shows down.
Selena Vega at 22, 22 entry. Once again dressing up and cosplaying. She calls us like cosplays like every match now when she comes out, I guess, or every pay-per-view match. Candice LeRae at 23. Now Candice LeRae is the wife of Johnny Gargano, and she used to be part of that group in NXT. I don't know what she's been doing since then because I haven't watched in so many years. I guess they're calling her the Poison Pixie now. And she temporarily teamed up with or helped Nia Jax at some point. Did I miss Nia Jax's entrance here? I think I did. I think I accidentally missed Nia Jax's entrance.
She was 29.
Oh,
She was
okay.
29, Phil. Yeah.
Okay, we didn't get there yet. So let's see here. Okay, Stephanie Vakiri. I don't know, some Stephanie at 23. Again, another
Like, it's just like a lot of ham and
NXT.
eggers and jabronis, people from NXT. Like, they have to drag out because they just don't have enough women.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they have to bring in these people, yeah.
So I made a note here because this was 24. So there's 24 women in the Rumble. I said, I don't even know more than 5 that have been eliminated. Are there 700 women still in this thing? Like, where are they all? Are they in the ring? Are they outside the ring? Like, this is so bad. It's been drawn out, and there's no one getting eliminated. And then as I made that note, Trish Stratus came out. And then the crowd erupted in the big spot where she comes to the ring, and all of a sudden she's kicking everyone's ass. And I think she did actually eliminate 1 or 2 people. Raquel Rodriguez comes out at 26. She eliminates Natalya along with Liv Morgan. Liv takes out Alexa Bliss, and the crowd goes crazy. They're so upset because I guess Bliss was the favorite picked to win this match. But she came out, and now that she's out, the crowd immediately just kind of like died and was angry that Alexa was out of it. But then all of a sudden, Charlotte Flair comes out at 27. And it's a remix of the theme that she was using previously. She actually has pyro. And the minute that they play that pyro, she's winning. It's like, that's it. The pyro hits.
Yeah. Well,
There's no way.
She was winning from the very beginning. I really didn't have a lot of doubt in my mind that she would be winning unless Becky Lynch came back and won. And so, I woke up to her winning. And I was just, as I said, that makes sense.
Right.
And,
so the announce team proceeded to make one of the dumbest things I've ever heard anyone on wrestling announcing saying. They actually said this as Charlotte was coming out. She's the glass ceiling smasher. What? She is the glass ceiling. Like, she has everything handed to her. She's the one who always gets the wins. She gets the titles.
There were no other women that ever were good before Charlotte Flair came along. In the women's evolution and the 4 horsewomen, which is just fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it is just bullshit. There was Trish Stratus. There was Lita. There was Victoria. There has been women wrestlers before Charlotte Flair.
I was just completely scratching my head.
Like, it's just like the worship for Charlotte Flair. I guess Triple H, because he looks up to Ric Flair, is such a mark for Ric Flair, is going to give her this push always, and is always going to put her as the greatest women's wrestler of all time. But the fans are rejecting it.
Yeah.
They fucking hate it. And honestly, I don't really know. I mean, she is a good wrestler, but I don't know if it justifies the push that they give her all the time. But I mean, that's the common opinion everybody has.
Now, real talk. I haven't seen wrestling for 5 years. I have not seen a single picture of Charlotte Flair. She looks very different.
Bad. I mean, okay, so like when I wrote my Monday Night Raw review, and because they did all these close-ups of Charlotte, I wrote, poor Charlotte has had way too much plastic surgery.
Yeah, my God.
She's looking like one of the witches from that Roald Dahl movie. You ever see The Witches?
Yes.
Oh, fuck,
yes.
She's like melted. She's fucking bogged, full on bogged and off, just fucked up. And, she's gone through a divorce now as well. Like, I don't know. She's just not pleasant to look at. And she was never like a bombshell smoke show woman. She was always kind of mannish looking, but at least she looked like a human being.
The thing was, she was supposed to be the legendary wrestling line of the Flairs, right? And you could tell when you looked at her, that's a Flair. She looked like her dad. Now, you might say, well, she looks like a dude. But for the wrestling part, it works. She looks like her dad. She's a good in the ring. It always worked. To see her now, I hate to say it, I feel like she let the pressure of public opinion, the internet wrestling fans, really fucking get to her, to the fact that she really just destroyed that body and turned it into something different that looks so fake. And that's sad. In this modern era, the fact that she let the internet get to her like that, is messed up because I don't know. I just feel bad for her, honestly. Looking at her like that, I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, you know, I felt really bad for her when she came out on Raw. Like, they fucking destroyed her, that audience. They had no mercy for her. And she was trying to be like, you know, really heartfelt, and I had this injury and I didn't know if I was gonna, and they just crapped all over it. She tried
they had none of it.
several times to save the segment or take it in a different direction, but it was just go away heat with that audience. And I don't know if it's going to be like that every week, but I think they thought she was going to come back as a babyface, because the promo they gave her to go out there with on Monday was like a babyface promo of how she loved the fans and she was happy to be back, and she had to call an audible on the fly and kind of turn into a heel.
Yep.
Right then and there. And even still, people were just like, get the fuck off my TV. And I think people would have probably been happy with anybody winning but her.
Right.
But she got the win. And, you know, I don't dislike her. I think she's probably the most talented women's wrestler there is. But fuck, people just don't want it. And I can't blame them, because she wins everything all the time.
She is now basically at the level of her career where she is Roman Reigns before Roman Reigns became the tribal chief. So WWE keeps relying on her, keeps leaning on her, wants her to be the face of the women's wrestling, but the people have had enough and don't buy it and don't want it. They're sick of it. Now, if they come up with a really good angle for her that works, then maybe they could turn it around. But the problem I see is she's already been a face. She's already been a heel. She's kind of done it all already. So unlike Roman, who had the opportunity to have a really good heel angle for a long time, I don't know what they could possibly do that's going to turn it around for her in the face of public opinion. So, yeah. And
are they really going to have her wrestle Rhea Ripley again?
Again.
Yeah. This would be the third time at WrestleMania for these two. And I'm quite afraid that they would just have Charlotte win that match. She's probably going to win whatever match she's in at WrestleMania, because if she loses, I guess she's dead in the water, you know. But she has to lose, doesn't she? I don't know. I think people are rejecting her no matter what, and whatever she's involved in, people are going to shit all over it. People are saying she's going to have to pick Tiffany Stratton. That's what's most likely going to happen. But then she's beating Tiffany Stratton and ending Tiffany Stratton's run way too early. And I don't think that's fucking... They're not going to have Tiffany go over her. There's no fucking way Charlotte's going to agree to that. The only person she's probably going to do the job for is Rhea Ripley. And even that's fucking debatable. So I think it's fucked. Or, you know, I don't know. So what's up with you? He says, no way Tiffany's going over. Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? That's like saying Hulk Hogan's gonna put somebody over. You know, like, seriously, it really is. Like, it's gotten to that point where it's like, well, it would make sense and it would be horrible for her to go over. She doesn't give a fuck. She's such a mark for herself. It's unreal. And she's going to be emotionally, who knows what the effect of this is, like her third or fourth divorce now to Andrade. I don't know how Andrade is going to stay employed. I hope they fucking fire him, to be honest. I fucking hate that bum.
Yeesh.
But, you know, she's going to be difficult to deal with, I imagine, because of the emotional fallout from that divorce as well. So, I don't know. It's going to be tough. Then I guess that's it for the Women's Rumble, right?
Yeah, there was only three more. There was Julia, who's the NXT champ at 28. I had never seen her before, so I didn't know who the hell she was. Nia Jax came in at 29, eliminated Zelina. Trish jumped Candice. Trish then was coming up and fighting Nia Jax. Nia did the spot where she eliminated like a ridiculous amount of people. Nikki Bella was the surprise entrant at the very end, number 30, her big return. And then basically there was a bunch of brawls. Nia eliminated a whole bunch of other people, but then Charlotte went out from behind Nia and Roxanne, flipped them out, and then she won. So basically she wins, but didn't really do anything to win. She just happened to be the last one to not get, to be behind everyone, and that's how she won. And it was an awful ending, in my opinion. I even wrote awful ending. Who cares about this at this point? This was not a very good end to the Rumble. So.
No. Okay, then they showed The Godfather, they showed Mickey James, they showed Kurt Angle with his daughter. His daughter was wearing his Olympic gold medal, apparently the real one. It's the
Haha.
first time he's taken it out, I guess, since he won it.
Wow.
So that was something. Then it's Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. What did you think here, Phil?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I like both of these teams. I used to watch the Motor
Yeah.
City Machine Guns in TNA, and I actually watched DIY a lot when they were on NXT. After that incredibly, ridiculously long, bad Women's Rumble, I was like, there's no way I can watch 4.5 hours of wrestling tonight. So I watched some of
glad
it.
I slept through it. So you didn't watch all of this match?
I
then?
skimmed through half of it. Like I saw a lot of they were hitting their spots. They both look good. It's really high level tag team wrestling. But I kind of had to skip through a lot of it, and it probably had one of the worst endings I've ever seen to a tag team match. So
So this was a 2 out of 3 falls match that only went 14 minutes.
yeah,
So on the face of it, people are like, what the fuck?
I feel like it was
How-
supposed to go longer, but the Women's Rumble dragged on too long, so they had to this was the match to squeeze for time. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, Guy and Achilles talking about the first fall. You could hear a pin drop when they did that tag fake out into a pinfall. I actually liked the tag fake out spot that was for the first fall. You never see that. Like, it's very, very rare that you see where they do an intentional fake tag and then they play with the legality of the man. And I like that with the, I like that. I did like that. But this match, man, like it was dead on arrival because it's following up the Rumble match. The crowd's fucking tired.
Yeah.
They're not into it. It's a weird stipulation, 2 out of 3 falls with 2 teams, one who's kind of brand new to WWE and the Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY that have kind of been cooled off and not featured prominently or pushed for a long time. Gargano and Ciampa. I liked the match for what it was. I thought there was some cool spots and some fun action in the match for sure. Like, I gave it 3 stars. But again, this match could have been a lot better. For these 2 teams, it could have been a lot better.
What did you think about the ending? Here's what I hate. If you're going to do a 2 out of 3 falls match, it has to be legit. The ending was bullshit. So why did we just wait for 3 falls?
They come in, the fucking Street Profits come in, and I don't give a fuck about the Street Profits. Does anybody? Like, these guys have been around for years and years now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And you remember a match?
They were on the main roster when I stopped watching. That's what I mean. Like, they've been around like 5 years.
Somebody tell me a Street Profits promo or match that they remember that they're really into, that they were like, these guys are the best. Everything they've ever done has just been so mediocre. Like, to me, they're the definition of mid. I was certainly not happy to see them. It was a bullshit finish for the match that really fell flat. And, we have the champions retain. I would have liked to see Motor City Machine Guns win, but whatever. It doesn't actually matter, but you're right, Phil. It was a shitty fucking ending. And, I feel like it was like a momentum killer on the show. It was basically just like a piss break type match.
Yeah.
Like a rest match.
To clarify, what happened was...
The show.
What happened was the Street Profits came in with like hoodies on. They both had crutches and they started beating both teams. But then Ciampa kind of took advantage and rolled up and pinned them. So they retained, but then they got beat up on the outside too. So the Street Profits hate both teams apparently. But it's like, why do a 2 out of 3 falls match and ruin the ending? Just let the match end. And if they come in after the fact and beat them up, then it wouldn't be so bad. But you ruin the ending.
Just have the match be 1 fall. It was only a 14-minute match. Have it be 1 fall and have the fuck finish.
Yeah.
But then, doing the fuck finish on a pay-per-view to me is a bullshit thing anyway. It's like, this is the Royal Rumble. Can we see a proper resolution?
Right.
It's the Royal Rumble. But whatever, I guess, maybe they'll have these guys keep feuding or what they're going to do. I think somebody in chat brought this up, though. Having 2 sets of tag team title belts. Is this really necessary?
I don't think so. No.
Can we merge these tag team title belts? Because it feels like the whole tag team division we never really see it showcased on Raw. I mean, we did see that War Raiders match, but like outside of the champions, and even with the champions, where are the stories? Where are like the real feuds going on in the tag team division? But this is a tale as old as time in WWE. They've always had the worst tag team wrestling. That was the one thing TNA always had over them, was a better focus on tag team wrestling. And but AEW now, I think, has lost their way almost as bad with their tag team division. So,
I made one final note. So the match ends, DIY wins, but then they play the Street Profits music. I was like, wait, what? Why are they playing the Street Profits music? They just fucking like beat the shit out of them with the crutches. Why? So I didn't make any sense. They didn't win the match. Why are you, usually if there's interference, everyone boos them. Why the hell are you playing their music like they won? I don't know why they did that. That was weird. So.
That was weird. And then Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. I mean, this was a really, really, really good match.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I am concerned, and why did the ladders look so fake now?
That is true. That is true. The ladders used to look way more real, and now it just seems like every ladder you can tell it's split right there. It's going to break right there. It's going to, this is a flimsy ladder. That's the one that's going to bend. They don't look real anymore like they used to back in the day. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're made of or how they're making them now. Why we can't have the old ladders, but the old ladders were more believable and they're more real. So, I don't know. Give your thoughts on this match, Phil.
This match was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought that both of these guys were going to give it their all, and they did. I thought there were going to be dangerous spots, and there were. I thought there was going to probably be some blood or something at some point. It's everything you would expect from a main event ladder match between these two, particularly KO always gives his all in matches like this. So I was praying, please don't let either of these guys get hurt, especially because it's WrestleMania season. And luckily neither of them did. They both seem fine. But for me, again, and we had talked about this leading up to this match, I never for a moment believed that KO was winning. There was no chance that he was going to beat Cody here. And so because of that, even though you're enjoying the art, you're enjoying the craft, there's no stakes here. And it takes your...
The worst part for me, Phil, is when they have Sami Zayn come out, did you even think for a second that Sami was going to help Kevin?
No, and I don't even know why they had him come out. I don't get it.
They didn't even tease it. They didn't even tease that Sami was really going to help him or interfere or screw Cody. Like, you could have at least, when Cody was climbing, have Sami fucking jump in the ring.
Right.
And him think about it. He's conflicted. Is he going to push it or not? And then not do it? But to just have him, the whole time, he's just checking on Kevin. I was like, fuck, man. There's like no point to him even being here. And that's what they were trying to build to. This whole storyline was, with Sami. And Sami was kind of an afterthought in all of this. And then he's not winning the Rumble. Yeah. Kevin's not going to help him win the Rumble because this didn't work out.
Right.
So that whole thing just fell fucking flat.
This is exactly what I was warning you about. This is one of the major reasons why I stopped watching wrestling. You invest in a plot line or a storyline that's built for several weeks. You get excited for the outcome, and then there's no outcome. It's just like forgotten or brushed under the rug. It's like, what the fuck did I invest my time in? I wanted to see Sami pick a side. I wanted to see some drama. Why did you even bother having the weeks of teasing to just pull it away? It's like you got blue balls now. You're like, fuck, man, why'd you do that? You just pissed me off, and I'm so annoyed because I wanted to see something. If he didn't come out at all, it would have been better than what they did, and it just pisses you off to see that there's... Again, I feel like nothing's changed in the 5 years I've been away. They're still going to be doing this teasing bullshit just to piss you off.
Here's what I'm going to say, Phil. Doesn't it feel like a disappointment, this Rumble, this show? Because I was getting really excited about this Netflix era, and it felt different, and it felt like, wow, they really have their shit together. And then this Royal Rumble kind of was like a crash back to reality.
Yeah, it felt like it's the same old again. We're right back to how it used to be. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because we'll get into that with the Royal Rumble match. The finish of that, I just think is so fun. But the finish of this ladder match, I really like that Alabama slam through the ladder.
Yes.
It looked brutal, and it was a dangerous spot. And I was worried that Kevin actually really did get fucked up because he landed like right on his neck in such a visually impressive and brutal way. And so I got to give props to that. I give the match like 4.25 stars, but I can't really give it any more than that because, as you said, you could never buy in that Kevin was winning.
Exactly. It's like a match. It's a match that was very entertaining to watch and appreciate what they were doing, but you had absolutely no investment in the plot line. But if you have any intelligence around how wrestling works, you knew that this was just a throwaway match.
Yeah. Okay, we get into the men's Royal Rumble match. I really liked the opening with Rey Mysterio and Penta as 1 and 2. I thought that this was great, to see them go back and forth, and it's teasing a potential dream match in the future. So right away, I was very pleased with this. I was like, this is fun. This is exciting. We're going to get to see a lot of Penta, which we did get to see a lot of Penta. Then Chad Gable was number 3.
Yes.
So then it worked into where it was like all those storylines that had been going on and Chad Gable's problems with luchadors, that was being worked in. So I thought that was really smart and good booking. And I'm like, okay, I'm into this match. I'm into this match. Up until that point, Phil, but then number 4 was Carmelo Hayes. And then I was like, oh, there's going to be a lot of filler jabronis in this.
You knew it. You knew it. They were going to squeeze them in there. They were going to fit them in,
Well, I have to put 30 guys in. And that's one of the things is like the flaw, I think, of the Royal Rumble match is that, it has to be 30 guys. So there's going to be a lot of, filler spots. And the match does go on a long time.
Thank God it's not the 40-man Rumble like they did a couple times. That
40-man Rumble with Del Rio in it.
Oh, my God.
The roster back then was super thin, too. But, they had some gimmick guys come in, which was a criticism I had of this match is they didn't have legends or kind of gimmicky guys come in. Carmelo Hayes was number 4. Then Santos Escobar was number 5. No eliminations through the first 5, so it was kind of similar to the women's Royal Rumble match.
Yes.
But I was more into it because I felt like the spots that they were doing were of a higher quality than in the women's match. And I was more invested. I like Penta. I like Gable. I like Rey Mysterio. So I was invested in how they would do in the match. Then Otis came in at number 6. And Otis came in like a house of fire. He hit a big choke slam on Escobar. Then Otis tried for the caterpillar or his worm move.
Yes.
But it got blocked. Gable got him in the ankle lock. So then this was good too, where you have the callback to Gable and to Otis.
Right.
It's almost like they're scripting this stuff.
Yeah. Instead of just come out, hit one spot, and then everyone just disappears from the ring for the next person, they actually have plot lines they're working out during this match. Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. Braun Breaker came in number 7. Braun Breaker had a really impressive Royal Rumble.
Yes,
really
I agree.
Good showing for Braun Breaker. He came in and dumped Mello. Mello was eliminated. I think that was the first elimination.
That was the first elimination. And then he speared Escobar, took him out right away too. So right off the gate, out of the gates, taking out 2 people who were kind of jobberish. So that made them look really strong.
Yes, and he got. We'll get to it, but he got probably one of the biggest moments of the night, at least in terms of social media, when he was with iShowSpeed. Which that's what happens next. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So Tozawa comes out. And he gets knocked out from behind by Hayes.
Yep.
And then Triple H goes to iShowSpeed. You're in the match. You're in the match. I show speed. Phil's rattled. Phil's shaking his head. What do you got to say, Phil, about I Show Speed's appearance? You don't like it?
Listen, I get it. I totally get it. WWE thinks by doing stuff like this, we're going to get the young demographic who doesn't watch wrestling to be interested in this show now because I Show Speed is on it and everything. But every time stuff like this happens, it's so cringy because you know that's an opportunity for someone who works hard, wishes they could get a spot, a showcase at a pay-per-view. They'd get paid extra to do it, and they don't get the spot, so they could have this 2 seconds of some guy come in and do a silly spot.
But fuck them. They're jobbers. Like, I don't give a shit about Tozawa. Like, if Tozawa was going to be in the Rumble versus I Show Speed, I don't think you understand how big of a deal I Show Speed is.
Oh,
I didn't either. I watched a stream where I Show Speed, it was either in Indonesia or the Philippines, and he's being flawed. Like, people are thronging to him in the streets, thousands and thousands of people, to the point where traffic is being shut down, and he's having to escape on a motorcycle through weaves of traffic of hundreds of thousands of people who want to see him, and everybody knows who the fuck he is in this country. It was crazy. He couldn't travel without being mobbed by people. And once I saw that, I was really, really impressed. This guy is known by millions and millions and millions of people, Phil. And the video of Braun Breaker spearing him has 300 million views on social media. 300 million views. The publicity is massive, Phil. It's massive. I just think that you're jealous that it's not Dark Side Phil in the Royal Rumble.
Why couldn't I get speared by Braun Breaker? Why not?
You know what I mean? They should call up Phil, and they should get Phil in the ring. I don't know. I was marking out for it because I've become like an I Show Speed mark recently. I've been impressed with some of these IRL streams that he did.
Oh, boy.
And so I was like, yeah, let's go. And Speed came in. He had a backflip. He had a spot where he tried to eliminate somebody. I think he did. Did he get an elimination?
He was eliminating Otis along with Braun. So basically he helped Braun do it. Yeah.
I don't know if he gets full credit for an elimination.
They said they did give him credit for the elimination so that they could say that he did it. So yes, he did get credit for that.
Somebody's saying they were impressed with the backflip. I would like to see a match with him and Logan Paul. I think that's a money match. I think that would be really exciting to see. I know that Phil is an old man and he's like, no, these young streamers are fucking garbage and they're stealing from the real jabronis like Carmelo.
You can like influencer culture as much as you want. I'm not going to sit here like an old crotchety man and yell at you for liking it, but it doesn't mean that I have to.
Gotta get you in an influencer boxing match, Phil.
Don't you think they've tried? Don't you think that I've had offers already?
Tried? Did Team come to you?
I'm not. Let's move on.
All right. Then Sheamus came out. He was the 9th entrant. Sheamus did his like forearm smashes.
Yep.
Penta almost got him out of there, but Sheamus held on.
The beats of the Bowery.
Yeah. Sheamus hit a backbreaker on Ray. Then Braun hit a suplex on Sheamus. Gable and Sheamus exchanged chops. Jimmy Uso came out as number 10.
Big Jim. His name is Big Jim now, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's really going to get him over. To be honest with you, I really can't tell the difference between him and Jey. And I'm shocked as to the fact that Jey is getting the push that he's getting and the reactions that he's getting. Because to me, he's just the same as Big Jim.
Yeah,
just
that was
fucking jabroni mid-card fucking tag guy.
When they were tag guys, I think it was that Jimmy was slightly taller and Jey was slightly wider, but now Jey lost the weight, so now they look exactly literally they look exactly the same. So I don't get it. Why did one get the push and the other one didn't? I guess I missed the whole plot line with the bloodline.
I don't know. To me, it doesn't even really make sense. But Jey, I mean, the most into Jey that I think I ever was during that storyline was when he had the first Hell in a Cell match with Roman Reigns, where the winner was going to have to acknowledge the other one. And I thought that match was actually probably the best match that he's ever had, or the one that I was the most invested in. But since then, I don't know. I've never really bought into Jey. I don't know. I don't know why the audience. It's the song, the move. We'll get into it. It really rattles my soul, though. Andrade came out. Andrade kicked Jimmy. He hit a head scissors on Penta. There was no elimination there, but then Jacob Fatu comes out.
Samoan werewolf.
The Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Fatu just starts fucking murking people. He super kicked Gable.
Yep.
Samoan drop on Andrade. Hip attack on Gable. He
Took out Mysterio too. Yeah, Mysterio
Yes.
came out. Yep.
He eliminates Mysterio. He eliminates Chad Gable. He eliminates Andrade. So it's like 3 eliminations. Boom, boom, boom. Establishes him as a big threat. He would go on to be tied for the most eliminations in this match, which was 4, which is very low.
I know. Yeah.
I was surprised that only 4 eliminations by one guy. Because I remember like Kane used to have like, what did he get, like 11 people in a match? I think once.
And he had the record for a very long time too.
Until Roman Reigns broke it. And I think Roman Reigns has the all-time record now, unless it was surpassed, which I doubt it. Ludwig Kaiser then came out. He did this whole thing where, and I'm surprised they didn't play around with this, and we didn't mention this, but they have at the bottom of the screen, the people in the match, right?
Yes.
And if you'll remember, in years past, there were spots like Santino Marella hiding under the ring for the whole show.
Right.
And then popping back up as like a surprise, stuff like this. I was surprised they never did that and had that as like a reminder that somebody was in the match.
Well, you see, I don't know how that's going to work, because in previous Rumbles, things would happen. For example, they'd start brawling outside the ring and they're still in the match. And then someone would like go through a table or a barricade, and then they'd be like taken out on a stretcher. And the question would be like, well, are they still in the match? Are there going to be a replacement for that? Like, you would never really
like
know.
Austin would come back in.
Right.
And stuff like that. So
how would that work with this new system? It would be confusing. Like, you wouldn't even know, are they in, are they out? Because I liked that was there.
I'm not sure how much I liked it, because I kind of liked it and it made things easier to keep track of. But then you lose out on stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it also took up a significant portion of the screen.
It did. That's true.
Where sometimes I was like, I wish that this wasn't here.
At this point, you've got so many things pulling your attention. You've got the freaking LED ring apron. You got the ads in the ring and shit. And now you got this other thing that's blinking on the screen. It's like, at one point, I just want to be able to focus on the match. So it is just another thing there.
Okay. Then Ludwig Kaiser gets eliminated in 6 seconds. He teases that he's going to stay on the outside and pick his spot. I don't know why he didn't just refuse to enter at all, and just like run around the ring if that was what he was going to do. But he picked his spot, came in, and was eliminated in 6 seconds by Penta. Penta got that elimination. The Miz came out. This is his 16th Royal Rumble match, which is now second most of all time.
Damn.
Joe Hendry then was number 15. I don't think there was any eliminations there between 14 and 15.
Nope. That was, and Joe Hendry is the current TNA champ. I didn't know who the hell he was, but I was like, whoa, that music was kind of epic,
I was aware of Joe Hendry, and that there was a lot of buzz around Joe Hendry. I still haven't watched TNA this year. I watched it some last year, and what I did watch, I did like. So I might start watching TNA, but there's been a lot of buzz and a lot of hype around Joe Hendry. The crowd did recognize him. They were popping for him. It is a crazy moment, and I don't think it's given enough significance to see the TNA world title on WWE TV.
It's true.
On a WWE pay-per-view. Something that, most people thought would never, ever happen. Not that WWE would allow it, or that, TNA would have went out of business before they would allow it. But we're in this weird scenario now where they're actually allowing TNA wrestlers to appear, and the TNA title. Oh, we had the women's title, I think, shown a few years ago on WWE TV with Jordan Grace, but this is the men's world title. Some significance to that. He gets his like spot in, and then he gets eliminated by Roman Reigns pretty much.
Yep.
Immediately. He didn't have too much to do. I'm surprised that it couldn't even give him like one elimination.
Yeah, I was confused. You would think this is momentous. I don't know the guy, but I'm like, you could tell people know who he is. They're hype. At least give him something. And instead, he just kind of did his quick one spot. Everyone gets knocked down, but then Roman came in and completely took the steam off of the guy, and then he's gone. So kind of felt like a waste.
Yeah. Roman Reigns came in at 16, and he eliminated Hendry.
All right. A question? Do you
eliminated Sheamus? Yeah.
Do you think Roman Reigns has the best entrance theme of anyone right now?
It might be.
Out of all these themes that I've heard since I returned to watch wrestling, this one just feels like epic, and it gets me really pumped when I hear it.
It really suits him. There's a lot of grandeur to it, and the way that he comes out to it in the entrance with Paul Heyman with him, I really like it. And I really liked his run as the tribal chief, and I'm kind of surprised it feels like Roman Reigns is an afterthought this year. It feels like Roman Reigns, supposedly the biggest star in the company, the next John Cena, the next face of the company. He's not going to be main eventing WrestleMania this year. It doesn't look like.
Right.
It looks like he's going to be in a filler feud with Seth fucking Rollins.
Yep.
Or a triple threat with Rollins and Punk. And this is not the direction that I wanted at all. I would have really liked to have seen Roman Reigns and The Rock, or even Roman Reigns and Cody a third time. At the top of the card, I really don't know what the fuck they're doing. I feel like a lot of people are very disappointed with how this is shaping up. But we'll get to that, I guess, when we get to the end of this Rumble and start talking about it.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre came out at 17. Drew basically gets shafted in this Royal Rumble, and there are reports that he's really angry about his elimination and about how that happened. Number 18 was Finn Balor.
What is with his music? It's like weird hip-hop music for Finn Balor now. I was like, what a difference from what he used to do.
And it was just totally dead. Nobody knew the song.
Yeah.
There was no pop for Finn Balor whatsoever. At no point did you really believe Finn Balor was a threat to win this match. Very sad. I would have liked to see him come out with his old music or as the Demon or something.
Right.
And, just shit. Then Shinsuke Nakamura, 19, waste of a spot.
What is going on with him now? I don't even know what the fuck was going on.
What the fuck is going on? All this red shit on his face.
You're like, what is going on with this guy?
Yeah,
that poor guy.
Right.
What a wasted talent. He's such a great wrestler, and he was so good in NXT. And dude, this guy just fucking can't get a break for anything they give him to do.
He just phones it in now. I don't think he really gives a fuck what he's asked to do.
Do you blame him at this point? Just take the paycheck, right? Like, fuck this.
Remember, him and AJ Styles had that match at WrestleMania, and everybody was so excited for it. Oh, it's going to be Shinsuke and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And then that match fell totally flat. It was a total dud. Everybody shot on it. Ugh. And then from that point on, the hype kind of came out of Shinsuke. And it was basically revealed that all he was that entrance music.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Okay. Then Jey Uso, who would then go on to win the match, came in at 20.
20, yes.
Penta was eliminated by Balor, which I think was a bad choice to have him eliminated by Finn Balor of all people. Maybe he's going to go on to feud with Finn Balor, but there was really no sign of that on the Raw after.
Right.
But he was the Iron Man of the match. He went 42 minutes. Was an impressive showing for Penta. He was there from number 1 up until number 20. I would have liked to see him get a little bit even longer, though, in the Rumble. I wouldn't have minded seeing him in the final 5 or final 6,
Right.
and having been there for an hour. There was that one spot, I guess we skipped over it, where Penta's feet, did they touch or did they not touch?
That was right at the beginning. Yes, right at the beginning with him and Ray, and it was a really good spot where everyone thought his feet had both touched, but I guess they said, oh no, they looked at the camera and it says that only one touched or whatever. They used to do stuff like that back in the day in the Rumble too, so it was a nice one.
Yeah, like the Luger and Bret Hart
Yeah,
finish,
yeah.
The camera angle was inconclusive, or Batista and Cena, where that I think was a botch.
That was
back
an
in
actual legit
2005.
botch. Yep.
Yeah, and then Vince came out and blew his fucking quad out, and he couldn't stand out. He had to sit in the ring while he's yelling at them. But I think looking at they didn't show a replay of that, and I think both of his feet did touch, but it was so close. It was so close, but it was a botch, I think. And this is the only problem with Penta is, I think he did a botch in the match as well. He's having quite a few of these botches. And so this might be another Sin Cara situation.
Oh, I hope not, man. I hope not.
I hope he gets it together, because otherwise he's going to get hurt or somebody else is going to get hurt.
At the very least, he has the crowd behind him. Unlike Sin Cara, where he was kind of like forced down your throat, he definitely has the crowd with him, but now he has to get his act together.
I think when Sin Cara first showed up, people liked Sin Cara, but eventually people really quickly got tired of Sin Cara. Remember they had Sin Cara Azul versus Sin Cara Negro?
Yes.
And it was like, what is this, man? I don't know. It never ended up working out for him, even though he was supposedly the biggest thing in Mexico. The return of AJ Styles at number 21. He had his old theme song back, which I was happy. These Def Rebel guys who are doing the songs, somebody in chat said they need to be fired. They really do, because everything they've come up with kind of fucking sucks. I was glad to see AJ with the new theme. Styles hit a Pele kick on Fatu coming in, but then Fatu got him with a back body drop. Then Braun Strowman, the nerfed Braun Strowman.
Dude, I really got to ask this question. I have no clue what happened here, okay? Because, Jacob Fatu is supposed to be the Samoan werewolf. We just saw him destroy Braun Strowman on Saturday Night Main Event, right? Bleeding everywhere, destroyed him after the match. What happened in the Rumble? Like, were they thinking here with this booking? I thought this was the stepping stone for Jacob Fatu to look like the big tough guy, but now it's like they've undone all of that. And I don't know why they did that.
I don't know, man.
For those who don't know, basically, Strowman comes in, he's pissed at Jacob Fatu, beats the shit out of him, throws him out. It's like, wait, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, he just got his ass beat by this guy not even a week ago, and now all of a sudden, he just flips it right on its head. So maybe they're going to have a rivalry, but what was the point? Like, I want to see Jacob get the push.
That's the thing is, I was just shocked to see Jacob get shafted like this, and I just don't know. Oh. Did Phil freeze?
Oh, my camera froze. Oh, shit, I can fix that. Hold on.
But I was shocked to see Jacob get thrown out by Braun Strowman. I don't know if they've made a real decision on how they want to book Braun Strowman, if they're going to make him strong, if they're going to make him weak. Maybe this is setting up a WrestleMania match. I don't know.
Crap. All right, I'm trying to get my camera working. You can keep going. Can you hear me?
What a disaster, folks. Let's get some subs and support for these technical issues. It looks like we might miss out on the goal here, folks.
Shit.
That's tough. And then Phil's not going to do the chicken dance, folks. We got to get some support there on the board. It's tough.
Let's do some shout-outs. There's a few shout-outs to do that I've been holding off, but nothing truly significant. We had, let's see. It was Victory Vic did a 100... Victory Vic 100 did a $5 super chat and said, within 30 seconds of Charlotte winning, I was already sick and tired of her. There you go.
Yep.
Dat Pie over there did a $5 super chat and said, fellas, this is why you got to watch NXT. Jada Parker has said the soft N-word on live TV in front of Booker T, and Lash Legend has powerlifted Otis in a match.
Well, and The Rock said the F word. The Rock said fuck on NXT.
He did?
Yeah. He was full on swearing on NXT when he made his appearance there.
Wow.
Which I found interesting. I'm sure it is a good show. And maybe we'll give it a shot. Maybe if we hit the goal this week, we'll do NXT next week. I think is it 1 hour or is it 2 hours?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
What's it
I
on?
really
What service is it on?
I think it's on Peacock.
Okay.
So you can watch it on Peacock.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we've got Victory Vic did another $2 super chat. He says, you guys need to do your homework. I don't know what that was a reference to.
Well, there's some things that we get wrong because, Phil's been out of it for a long time, and I haven't been watching weekly in a long time either. I was watching just the pay-per-views for a long time. So there's some of these lower level people that we just don't know.
Right.
But eventually we'll know. You know what I mean?
And then Eric did a $2 super chat. How much for the King to watch Ralph-A-Mania with Andy? I don't know what.
There's no way. So Ralph actually did his own wrestling event.
Oh, no.
And he got a bunch of independent wrestlers. And
Oh,
it
no.
was fucking terrible. It's just not even funny because it's just like a boring independent show. But Ralph was on commentary and he got served legal papers at his wrestling event. I fucking felt it.
Did he really? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Lady Charisma.
Then,
Hold on. One more shout out. Lady Charisma had done a $2 tip and said, in my opinion, Jordynne Grace is the star of the Women's Rumble. She's going to be a big deal in WWE, and seeing her in TNA for years, you're going to be in for a star. I mean, that would be great if that's the case. I think they do need a new face. They need someone to be taking up the spot instead of Charlotte,
Well, I think Rhea is their main women's attraction now.
Right.
But, I mean, Jordynne Grace could have a great feud with Rhea Ripley. They both now have, really good, strong physiques. It could be a good matchup. I'd really like to see her get a strong push on the main roster. But we'll have to see, because a lot of people, they get to the main roster, and then nothing ever happens with them.
That's right.
And it's the old view also was that ex-TNA people, they never really treated with respect. Hopefully that is changing now, and they will push some of these TNA people, but it used to be the mentality was, let's bury these guys and make them look like a joke. But now that they're partners, maybe that won't be the case. John Cena was number 23. Cena comes in.
A shell of his former self.
Well, okay, was it just me or was Cena working really slow and really sloppy?
Slow, sloppy. He looks skinny. He doesn't look like himself at all. You can tell he's much older. It's not his fault. This is what happens when you get old and you don't wrestle all the time. He's going to be very, very rusty. And the fact that they're pushing, this is his last year, but this is the work he's putting out, doesn't give you much hope for the rest of the year where he's going to be main eventing everything.
No, and there was a lot of things where I felt like he was actually being really unsafe with guys and just didn't seem to either capable of doing what he used to do or that he just didn't give a fuck and was phoning it in really, really badly. But then we got OG Snoop for $10 saying, huge fat fan, PPP. I don't know anything about wrestling, but I do consider it the Shakespeare of its day.
Wow.
Do you have a perspective on the recent Jet Neptune sex scandal? Well, I don't know anything about that. I genuinely don't know. But the rumors were always that Jet Neptune would take these girls and sexually fucking harass them and that the crew would get involved with them. But I thought that those were always just rumors and weren't really substantiated, although they might be true. I don't know exactly what went on with that because I don't really follow Fish Tank that much, but I'll have a look into that. And then Dat Pie over there for $5 said NXT is 2 hours on Tuesdays at 8 on the CW in the US or the Objective Best Way Canadian Netflix with a VPN. I think it is on Peacock though as well in the States. I think it is.
I'll have to take a look.
Okay.
Also, Shia gifted a sub on Kick. For some reason, the subs on Kick don't seem to be popping up, but he did. I just checked, so thank you, Shia. for the sub on Kick as well. So that gets us to 131 so far tonight.
So he said Jet Neptune was soliciting fans for payment to fling. Payment to fling. Okay, I don't know. It's recorded on a phone though. Oh, that's tough for him. Oh, that's gonna be tough, buddy. Otto, there's receipts. Yeah, Cena came in. I didn't think it was a really impressive performance for Cena. Braun Strowman was eliminated. Cena eliminated Balor with an attitude adjustment. Reigns hit a spear on Drew. Cena and Reigns. So this was now where the Rumble really peaked.
Yes.
Cena and Reigns had the stare down. Then CM Punk's music came down, hit. He came down and they had a stare off. And it was the three of them. And I was thinking, surely one of these three guys
will be the winner.
That's staring down is going to win the Royal Rumble. And up until that point, I really thought this is one of the best Rumbles that I've ever seen in terms of its booking, how it was laid out. Sure, there was the odd thing here or there, but that wasn't right. But I was like, this is really good. I'm really entertained. Then Seth Rollins came out and he completed the stare down.
Right.
They all came at each other. They fought by the turnbuckles. There were 7 guys left, and they were all threats really to win the match.
Yes. Until number 26.
Then Dominic Mysterio came out. And I kept waiting. I was like, where is The Rock? Like, are we going to get like a big return or like a star or a legend from the past? We just didn't. Dominic came in. He, it's funny. It's kind of comedic. He tried to suplex Reigns. He thought he was going to eliminate him. Didn't fucking happen. Then Sami Zayn came out as number 27, which traditionally a lot of winners come from 27. But
yes,
I didn't believe in Sami at all. Zayn hit the haluva kick on Rollins. Damian Priest entered as number 28.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. They're really trying to push Damian Priest, I guess, and make him a contender. But it looks like he ended up. By the way, no, that didn't happen yet. I thought that around this point Drew was eliminated by Priest, but that was a bit later.
Yeah.
Then LA Knight was number 29. And let's talk about this for a second. If you're gonna have a surprising winner, and it's like a guy with a catchphrase that's over with the crowd, why Jey Uso and not LA Knight?
Yeah, LA Knight was just as hot, correct? I don't know about now, but
they cooled him off big time. But if they gave him the Rumble win, I'm sure people would get right behind him and support him, and he would be over. He's a way better promo than Jey Uso, in my opinion. He has just as over of a catchphrase, I think, as Jey Uso. He's a great in-ring worker. And, he's not got much time left. And I mean, he's around the same age as Jey. I don't know why they chose Jey Uso over LA Knight. If they wanted a surprise, maybe LA Knight would have been better. But it seems like LA Knight, they've just totally cooled this guy off. Nobody's as invested in him anymore. And he's never going to get the title or get to be on that level, which it's a shame because a lot of people really liked LA Knight, and I liked LA Knight, but no.
Okay, Dat Pie over there has clarified. Peacock has the pay-per-views. NXT has what's considered a pay-per-view this Saturday, so we would be able to watch that show if we wanted to.
The NXT pay-per-view. Well, we got to hit the goal, though.
I know. We're 133. We are a far cry from hitting that goal right now.
We're getting there. We only got like 40 minutes left until Phil's got to go. So I don't know what happened tonight, guys. Obviously, the Grill Phil, it's no good. They don't want Grill Phil. They don't want, the questioning of Phil's week in the freezer.
No socks, no underwear, no freezer,
socks,
no history of education, nothing at all.
I think people just want their wrestling talk. I think that's what they want. So next week, it's going to be wrestling based.
Do some pure wrestling and see how it goes, right? There you go.
Yeah. All right. Then we had Logan Paul was number 30. There
Number
were no
30,
other
yep.
eliminations between 29 and 30.
Yep.
Logan
Oh no,
Paul
Sami got eliminated by Drew. That happened.
okay, Sami got eliminated by Drew. So then there were 10 people left. They did a spot with Logan Paul where they all stomped on him.
Yes.
Where they each took turns stomping on Logan Paul, which I thought was funny. Who got eliminated here?
Let's see. We got LA Knight eliminated Damian Priest.
Yeah.
And then Paul got out of the ring and drank Prime Energy drink to promo his own product.
What did you think of Logan Paul in the match, Phil? This was your first time, I think, seeing Logan Paul work.
Looks like a wrestler, moves like a wrestler. I don't think he did a lot in this match. What he did was good, but he didn't get a lot done in this match. I would like to more reserve my judgment till I actually see him in like a singles match. I think that would be better. But from the work he did in the match, I have nothing negative to say yet. We'll see as I see more of his work. So.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was pretty athletic of him, though, that jump over to the announcer table.
Right. To get his Prime Energy drink.
Back to the stairs. I mean, he is a real athlete, and he absolutely does not look out of place. In that sea of wrestlers, if you didn't know that was Logan Paul, you would think that he's a wrestler just like anybody else. And in fact, he had a better physique than a lot of the wrestlers. And so I'm really impressed with him as a wrestler. And honestly, I would have preferred him winning the Rumble to what they did. And because, okay, eventually it comes to a spot where Reigns and Rollins and Punk all get eliminated basically at the same time.
Yeah.
And this was the moment for me where all the air came out of this event. Because Reigns and Punk, I would have really liked to see one of those guys win. CM Punk, I would have really liked to see win. Get his WrestleMania main event.
Well, the final three makes no sense. Logan Paul.
It really makes no sense.
Why not have the Punk in there or Rome? Even if they're not going to win, have them in there till the end. But they all got dumped out. It was like no one really wants to see these three guys win. So now the outcome is just kind of
What was really baffling was not having it be Logan Paul and Cena. You know, 'cause I thought I knew something was really up when the final two was John Cena and Jey Uso. And I was like, they're going to have Cena toss out Jey Uso, a baby face that the crowd is behind,
right,
to win the Royal Rumble? That doesn't make sense.
The only way that would have worked is if they finally turned Cena heel. That's the only way that would have worked.
And it's his farewell tour, so they were never going to do it. And I was just like, But at the same time, when it came down to Cena and Jey Uso, I was still rooting for Jey Uso. I did not want to see Cena win.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I think it would have made more sense for Cena to win than for Jey Uso to win. Because ultimately, the match ends up on the apron. Cena gets pushed out. He has this shocked look on his face. Everybody was shocked. Nobody saw this coming. It was really, and this is the one thing about it, and everybody said it was really surprising. I don't know if it's good, but it was really surprising. By the way, we got Greg Lambert for Australian $7.99.
That's about $5.
In the greatest timeline, wrestling is still awesome, and PP and Ralph are rival WCW stable managers. Cornette and Heenan of our era. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice, folks? But Jey Uso has won the Royal Rumble match.
Right. Let me put it this way. I understand that people are behind Jey Uso. All right, I get it. But why, if that's the case, have Jey lose to Gunther the way that he did and then have him win the Rumble? Like, if that match hadn't happened, if there was no Gunther-Jey match where Gunther no-sold 3 finishers, double powerbombed him, and made him look like a baby, basically, then maybe I would care about him winning the Rumble. But what happens now is, if he wins the Rumble and he challenges Gunther, he's going to beat Gunther. So now There was no point. It's like it destroys the credibility of Gunther and that whole match we just saw on Saturday Night Main Event. It's bad writing. You know,
it just kind of is like now Gunther's going to lose at WrestleMania. It puts a definitive end point on his title reign, and it's not going to be a huge, long reign like his IC title run, which I think is kind of doing him dirty. Now, Shia AF says Jey is really over. The crowd was on board. He absolutely is over. He's super over. He's like probably the most over guy on the show that people react to the most. I still don't think he should win the Royal Rumble because I think that this devalues the Royal Rumble a lot. Because is this really the main event of WrestleMania? Is this going to main event and go on last on night 2? No, it's not. Now, the Royal Rumble has, been devalued like that in the past where, like, I remember when Sheamus won, he didn't get to go on last. He didn't get to be the main event of WrestleMania that year. In fact, wasn't Sheamus's year the year he squashed Daniel Bryan in 28 seconds?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm pretty sure, right? And that was like a curtain jerker fucking match. So they have had the Royal Rumble winner go after B titles before, but you would like the idea of the Royal Rumble is the winner is the main event of WrestleMania. And last year they did it right. Cody won the Royal Rumble. He challenged Roman Reigns for the title. He finally won the title. This, I don't even know if it's going to main event night 1 of WrestleMania.
The way I see it, the only way that they can make this interesting is to tease that it's going to be Jey and Gunther, and then it's not. It's actually Jey and Cody. And what happens is everyone keeps telling Jey, listen. Bear with me. The plot line now is that absolutely no one believes he can beat Cody because he couldn't even beat Gunther. So then he goes on like a 3-month, well, I guess at this point it would be 2 months build to WrestleMania, where he's having crazy matches against high-profile people every week, and maybe he narrowly wins, but he wins. So he's building credibility over 2 months saying, you said I couldn't do it, but I'm the people's champ now, and I'm going to prove that I can do this. So finally, when WrestleMania comes and he fights Cody, there's actually a question mark. Could he actually win the big one? Because he's built some credibility up. But the problem is, I don't think they're going to do that. Instead, they're either just going to throw him into the rematch with Gunther, which no one cares about, or they're going to put him in a match with Cody that no one believes he can win. So I don't know how they're going to do this without really good writing, and I just don't feel like they're going to go that route.
I don't have a lot of faith. It seems to me with what they did on Raw that they're going to do the match with Gunther and Jey, but I don't think it does either of those guys any favors whatsoever. I think it cheapens the Rumble. I think it's like, oh, it's a surprise, but I don't really think it's a good surprise. I wasn't really excited about it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I would have been pissed if Cena had won, but I know that there would be like a lot of people who would be excited to see Cena win and see him main event. Shia, I think, said, or no, it was Alt's mic arm in the kick chat, don't be dumb, it's Cody Cena, we all know it. I don't know if that's going to be the case.
I actually don't think so. No.
I don't think so. I think what they're going to do with Cena is they're going to milk this all year long.
Right.
And continue this like losing storyline. Is he going to get to number 17? So they'll have him go to Elimination Chamber and lose. They might have him go to Money in the Bank and lose. And King of the Ring. And eventually at one of these, he'll get his opportunity. But it may not be at WrestleMania.
Right.
But then I don't really know what they do with Cena then. I don't know if they put him with CM Punk at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind seeing Punk and Cena at WrestleMania one more time. But what would you do with him, Phil? What would you put him in there?
I don't know. I feel like he's in that position. You remember all those years ago that we referenced where he wanted a match at WrestleMania and they didn't have anything for him. So they did a really bad Undertaker match. Like, that's how I'm feeling. Like, the vibe is not there. If he had won the Rumble, then we'd be excited. But I don't really, he's not winning the Chamber. So what's next after that? And how do they build it within a month? Because there was only going to be 1 month to build this plot line. Maybe it's he eliminates like 2 or 3 guys from the chamber. He eliminates Punk from the chamber, and then that pisses off Punk, and that's why they go back and forth for a month. But I'm not feeling it. Like, I don't get it. This plot line doesn't feel momentous to me. Like, they're pushing it like it is, but I'm not getting excited for it like they seem to make me want to be. So I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know. So we'll get into Raw quickly.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and like kind of power through this as fast as we can. So we had a Royal Rumble recap. Jey Uso came out. He's in the lobby with his Orange Crush Yeet shirt. This really is reminiscent of John Cena, in my opinion.
This is 100% why he won the Rumble. They want to sell merch for the next few months. They want to get giant merch sales. You're going to see every week a new shirt, every week new glasses, and they're going to sell a ton of this shit.
He's surrounded by children in the lobby that are all going crazy for him. I wrote, there's a guy on the left-hand side of the screen that's bald and looks like a burn victim. I wrote, such an ugly guy. He looked like that one American soldier that got all fucking burned and messed up. And then he had that, like, show wedding to that girl, but she divorced him. That's what this guy looked like. Man. I don't know if anybody else caught this guy, but I just had to call him out for being so ugly. He makes his entrance through the crowd. Everybody's marking out, doing the yeet dance. The arena's packed. It's full of energy. It's a great visual. It feels like the Daniel Bryan stuff.
Yeah.
But for a shitty wrestler. And this is like, back then I was so in favor of Daniel Bryan and I wanted him to get the push. And now I feel like I'm like WWE in that situation where they didn't want it, but it was like forced on them. I feel like this is being forced on it. I wrote, this entrance is dragging on way too fucking long.
It was very long.
I get milking a reaction, but holy. And I go, all right, this is Jay's big moment of truth. Jay picks up the microphone. He doesn't say anything. Then he drops the microphone. The music starts playing again. I wrote, fuck this. Fuck this. It's me, Hoos. It's me, it's me, Hoos. Eat me, Hoos. It's like, fuck this. How long is this going to go on for, dude? Then it was fucking these cringy, you deserve it. Whenever you hear you deserve it chants, it should make you fucking cringe. The guy should earn it. You deserve it. You deserve it. We are 13 minutes into the show.
And nothing's happened.
It's me, Hoos. It's me, it's me, Hoos.
This is what they did it for. For the modern fan, this appeals. For the old fan, it pisses you off. I felt like that's exactly why they scripted it like that. That's the reaction they want.
Oh, man. Then he's got tears in his eyes like a giant pussy bitch, like sobbing. It's like, this is our hero? Some big blubbering fucking vagina? Really?
That's the modern man. It's 2025 now, man. You have to understand.
Man, like, I want him to be tough and badass and cool. Like, you see Triple H or Stone Cold or The Rock or Shawn Michaels. Well, Shawn Michaels did kind of cry that one time. But, like, imagine these guys fucking come to the ring and they cry like this. Oh, I'm so happy. So 13 minutes and 35 seconds into the show, he then says, thanks, guys. That's what he says. He then says he doesn't know what to say, but yeet. I then went to bed. That was like the night. I started trying to watch this at like 3 and 4 in the morning after the casino.
Wow.
I got to the point where he says he doesn't know what to say, 14 minutes into the show, and I went to fucking bed. I said, fuck this. I'll wake up and watch it in the fucking afternoon. So then I wake back up. There's more.
I was just gonna say, little did you know that was only the first half of the segment. There was more coming.
Oh, I know there was more. You deserve it. He doesn't. Fuck him. Fuck him. Then he says he worked really hard to get to this spot and position. I wrote as he cries like an F slur. It's everybody works hard. Everybody's on the road. Everybody's grinding. it doesn't mean you should win the Royal Rumble. He says because of the fans, he's the 2025 Royal Rumble winner. How about it's because you're the fucking man? How about it's because of your accomplishments and achievements that you're the Royal Rumble winner? So it's because of all of you. Yeah, it is.
Right.
It sucks.
It is. It's because they've been so loud and they buy his merch. It's not because of his in-ring work. It's not because he's believable. It's because they back him when he comes out and they buy his merch. It's true,
Oh
but
my God. It was fucking dog shit. He goes, yeet. Now he's going to the main event and it's just me, Uso. It's the same promo. It's just me, Uso.
how about this? I got it. At WrestleMania, he'll come out, they'll play that music for 25 minutes, then he'll just cover the guy he's wrestling and he'll walk out. No match.
Why even have matches?
No match.
Why even have fucking interviews or promos? Apparently, all that's necessary is an entrance where everyone, yeet, yeet, it's me, Uso. It's me, oh me, it's me, Uso. And it's so annoying when it's played for 15 fucking minutes. 15 minutes of this. Oh my God, I was about to have a fucking conniption, man. I fucking got up. I made a fucking call.
Wait, I got a better idea. So when they go to play his match, all right, the screen goes black and it says click here to purchase an official Jey Uso t-shirt to continue watching the event. If you don't, the event just goes black for the rest of the broadcast.
I don't know.
How many people would do that? I think people would do that. They would click and buy the shirt.
Instead of saying I'm seething, it was a smart business decision. He puts people in seats. I guess the people who buy tickets and go are into it. Yeah. But you know what? This is the problem with the modern wrestling fan. They're gay. They're cringe. They suck. This is why no one wants to watch wrestling, because all of the fans are fucking losers. They're like, you deserve it. Okay. Oh my God, It's like a fucking charity case out there.
We had Piper's Pit, right? We had, what was it? The Brother Love Show. We can have Crying and Yeeting with Jay now. That'll be the new show they do every week.
I just don't like it, this whole like crying and just like, it's because of you guys. It's like, okay, your whole character is a catchphrase and saying oos. Like, I don't know, Gunther interrupts. Gunther offers congratulations for what? He says he's disappointed because this matchup doesn't appeal to him.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like preaching, like I think it. Gunther says it at this point. He says that he can't even lace Gunther's boots, which I agree with. He talks about how beating Cena or Roman or Punk would have added something to his legacy, but he's already beat Jey many times, and it adds nothing. It does nothing for him. So Jey has everything to gain, and Gunther has nothing to gain and everything to lose.
This is completely correct, 100%. Like 1,000,000% dead on.
I'm just thinking like this is dead on what this is. He says he's gonna put Jey down like a diseased dog. Greg Lambert here for 8 Australian says, wait, Jey Uso won the Rumble? I didn't realize they were that short of prospects. I only know him as Reigns' beta minion. But they weren't! This was like the Royal Rumble. They could have chose anybody. The John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, even Sami Zayn, even Seth Rollins, even LA Knight, for fuck's sake. There were a lot of choices. There were a lot of people teased to win the Royal Rumble match.
Dat Pie over there did a $5 super chat and said, what if Final Boss comes back, The Rock goes full crash out, sends him to the morgue, worse than Cody last year, then takes his spot?
The only hope is that Final Boss Rock saves us from all this shit, beats the fuck out of him, and then as chairman of the board of TKO, inserts himself to fight Cody or something. I don't know. I just refuse to accept this. I know that the match is not going to be good at WrestleMania. And I know that if he's in it against Gunther, he's going to win. I saw the match last week. Meltzer gave it 4.5 stars. Meltzer is a retard. Let's be real. It's not like this is almost 5 stars. And Meltzer is a stingy fuck with stars all the time in WWE. But for that, for whatever reason, let's mark out.
Okay. By the way, a Clammy V had also done a super chat and said, who has more coke, HBK in the 90s or Nick Rakita?
Well, it's a competition now, isn't it? Holy, I don't know which of them was more gay either. They were
Wow.
both fucking with men there.
Wow.
Yeah, I wrote fucking garbage day one Oos yeet. That's okay. Cena announces he will be in the Elimination Chamber in Toronto.
I'm just in it. I don't have to qualify, everyone. I'm just in it because I've been here for 20,
And then
23 years.
But he says because after 23 years, he earned it. But notice the difference if Cena says he earned it, whereas Jey Uso, it's because he deserves it. and the fans made it so. I just found that as interesting. Like, Cena knew how to actually put himself over by saying he earned it. You know, I didn't like Jey accepting from the audience this, like, pity, charity, you deserve it, you're being handed this. I just don't like that. Then we had Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta. They highlight that Penta was the Iron Man of the Rumble. I really liked this match. It was back and forth. Ludwig gained control after Penta failed the headstand dropkick in the corner. Then Ludwig hit a Death Valley driver on the apron to the commercial break. It was pretty good. Pretty cool spot.
Yes.
Then there's like a fighting spirit spot where Penta's on his knees and he's screaming for Ludwig to hit him.
Give me more. Hit me more.
Give me more. Give me more. And I like that, you know. And then he ends up no selling, doing the Zero Muerto, getting up, clotheslining him. Then he did hit the headstand dropkick, which is a cool move. Then they had that chop off spot back and forth. Penta hit some cool dive to the outside. Ludwig goes for a roll up. This was the finish, which was supposed to be countered into the sacrifice. But here was the Penta botch again. I don't know if this was Penta's fault or Ludwig's fault, but the roll up didn't go smoothly. It was all messed up. And then it eventually got there, and he got the sacrifice arm breaker and then hit the driver, but it was a little bit sloppy on the finish. What did you think of the match, Phil? I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. Again, right guys for the kind of match. They're giving Penta the correct opponents to build him. Showcases the talent. I don't know who else Ludwig would be wrestling right now because he already wrestled Sheamus. I don't know who else they're going to have for him in the pipeline. I thought it was done well. Although Pete Dunne coming out was confusing. I don't even know why Pete Dunne came out. I was like,
I thought they were gonna actually give Penta another interview chance because it seems like they're gonna have him try and speak more and get him comfortable with it. And then he didn't get a chance to talk.
Right.
Pete Dunne interrupts him. Then Ludwig jumps Penta from behind, and then that's kind of it. It's like, why did Pete Dunne even need to come out? He didn't really participate in the beatdown. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Then we have the backstage segment. Finn Balor bursts into the Judgment Day locker room, says he's been gone 2 weeks, everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
Says Dom stole his tag team title shot and his partner, and now he got his partner hurt. And then Liv jumps in, defends Dom, saying the title shot would have went to another team. And the War Raiders injured JD, not Dom. And then she says she knows things are looking bad, but she's got a chamber qualifying match and a tag opportunity for her and Raquel. And then Finn's like, well, what has he done for me? And she's like, oh, well, he got you into the chamber qualifier too. It's like, but how is Dom doing this?
Yeah, what?
It's my question, and it's not seen on screen how he's doing this.
Is he doing all kinds of under the table favors for people that we don't know about?
I guess he's sucking Adam Pearce's dick or something. I don't know. But this segment, and Carlito was there for no reason. It feels strange that Carlito's even in this group. I don't even remember how he ended up in this group.
He sure seems like the odd man out for sure. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to do anything in this group. I don't know. It's not looking good for the Judgment Day. I'll tell you that. We talked about Charlotte Flair and the promo earlier. She got booed really bad.
In a nutshell, she comes out. She's really trying to be a face. The crowd hates her. So then she turns it that she's going to be a heel, and the crowd still hates her. The crowd does not want Charlotte in any way, shape, or form. They're tired of this woman, despite the fact that she is a great wrestler. I don't know how WWE is going to save this angle because I don't think they want her in the main event picture. She's been in it too much. It's just a classic syndrome. It's the Cena syndrome. It's the Roman syndrome. Too much of this person shoved down your throat. But honestly, outside of Rhea, who have they built to be legit? Not many. So because of that, they have to keep going back to the well, and it's just a big
They were
problem.
pushing Bianca Belair hard for a long time. It seems like that's really died off. They no
Yeah.
longer seem invested in her.
For sure.
Io Sky and the Damage Control people also, they built them for a while. Now it seems that's kind of cooled off. They have that face-off with Rhea. We kind of talked about that. Then they have the Sami Zayn interview. He said he thought it was going to be his year for the Royal Rumble, but now he has to go through CM Punk to get to the Chamber. She asked him about Kevin Owens. He dodges the question. Then Jey apologizes to Sami. And then Sami hugs him and congratulates him on winning the Royal Rumble. Let's all be friends, guys. We're all friends and we love each other, even though, like, I don't get a career opportunity and I've missed out. But I love you, bro. I love you, Oos. It's Oosy, bro. We're in the bloodline, Oos. It's just lame as fuck. Then Karrion Kross shows up. And it's like, what are we doing with this guy? Like, he shows up for 10 seconds every show. And it doesn't really go anywhere.
Nothing happens, ever. So far in a whole month, not one thing has come out of him being in any vignette. So I don't get it. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know. He says, what's it like watching everyone else live your dreams? And then Sami says if he keeps coming up to him, it's going to be a problem. And then Kross says he can be a problem. Are we really going to do a Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn?
It seems like it. It does. And I don't want to see it, but it looks like we're going to have to see it.
Okay, New Day is here, and they have a new theme.
They have a theme song. I mean, it's terrible, but they have a theme song.
I wrote that it was mid, which I think was being generous, because I originally wrote it was dog shit, and then I was like, maybe I'm being too hard on this, so I wrote it was mid, but now that Phil has confirmed it.
No, I didn't like it.
It wasn't very fucking good.
No.
Then, I don't know, it's weird. They do entrances, and then they're cutting to backstage interviews.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They've never really done that before. I guess that's a new thing in this new era. But then it's Rhea Ripley backstage with Io Sky. I thought for a bit they just weren't going to come back to New Day, and then it was just like
forget about them.
They were just stranded out there. But Rhea Ripley is backstage with Io Sky, and they say maybe they'll fight at WrestleMania. Then Liv jumps Io Sky, and then Rhea chases her off. And then Raquel jumps Rhea, and then Liv and Raquel run away. So I don't really know what the point of this was, because I guess it was to soften up Io Sky for the qualifying match.
Yes.
But they didn't really do anything. It wasn't like a vicious beatdown, an extended beatdown with weapons or chairs or anything. So it didn't really do much. It kind of felt like this was not necessary, just kind of filler.
Yep.
Then we had the Latino World Order enter. They showed that Ray versus Logan Paul is next week, and then they did something very baffling. They showed the WWE 2K25 ratings for Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio, as though it was like a real thing. And Ray had a lower number than Logan Paul. Rey Mysterio, the 30-year, I guess it's 2025 Rey Mysterio. And so therefore, because he's old, it's a lower number. But you'd think he would be higher than 86. That's pretty fucking low for Rey Mysterio.
You know, it's just the thing with video games, because I can tell you Logan Paul is a much better character in WWE Champions than any version of Rey Mysterio, and that's very sad. So, there you go.
Oh, no. Phil, no. Okay. Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise for the win. I honestly kind of skipped through some of this match.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at with this. They're doing this every week with New Day and Ray, and where is this going? Does anybody know where this is going?
No, I don't know what they're doing with New Day. She's like, they don't want to get rid of them because they've been with them for so long, but they're not doing anything when they're out there every week. It doesn't seem to be leading to anything, so I don't know.
So this match to me felt like a real waste of my fucking time. You know, I give it 2 stars. Then they announced that Roman Reigns is out with injury for the foreseeable future.
Indefinitely.
So I guess he just decided he didn't want to show up for work this month.
That's
And we'll see him after Elimination Chamber. But that means he's not in the chamber.
right.
So he's not going to the main event of WrestleMania. And unless The Rock shows up, this leaves Roman Reigns in the mid-card scene. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is Roman Reigns versus Seth really the match? Like, I've seen that match. I've seen it a lot. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
So I
Like
don't
10 years of that match.
I don't know if I really am that excited to see it at WrestleMania in 2025, or even worse, a triple threat with CM Punk. Can we not find anything better for CM Punk and Roman Reigns? Even just for Punk and Roman to fight, to me, would be more fresh and interesting
Yeah.
than anything to do with Seth. Figure out something else for Seth to do, but it looks like that's the way they've set it up, and I'm a bit disappointed about that, to say the least.
But I'm not disappointed about the topic of the Topps cards packs being opened and finding the rare autographed card inside. I immediately purchased thousands of dollars of boxes of Topps cards and started opening
You're gonna
them.
make it. You're gonna make it, Phil. They're gonna be worth something someday.
Yeah.
You gotta get the autographed card. Maybe that's what we should do. We should have you open card packs.
Order
the
a
show.
box and open pack after
the
pack and
card
see what
pack.
happens.
Are you ever gonna do the Lego stream?
Oh, I'm getting to it. I'm playing catch up. I'm trying to finish a bunch of stuff because some new games are coming out in
I
Feb.
think I'm gonna
but-
show up for the Lego stream with you, Phil, and we'll do fire sales during it. We'll just get you drunk as fuck and frustrated. While you build the Lego set.
Oh God, and the Lego set is complicated. It's like plants and shit, so I'm not gonna understand the pieces or anything.
I'm
I'm
trying
like,
to get you mega drunk to build it, and then I'll heckle you, and you get frustrated and lash out. This is our new scheme, because the wrestling show is going down the tubes. We're not making the money tonight, brother. It's over. It's over. Okay. Then it was that was where I first noticed the audio issues and the video issues during
Yes.
that card commercial.
this show had rampant audio video issues throughout. It was the audio and the video kept cutting out badly, and it looked at first like maybe it was planned, but as the show continued and you saw it was rampant happening, especially near the end of the show, you could tell the tech issues were just really out of control.
Yes. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. The finish in this match, it ends up Rhea Ripley coming out to stop Raquel from cheating, because she was cheating and helping Liv throughout the match. She ends up accidentally punching Liv Morgan in front of the ref.
Oops.
And she wins by DQ and goes to the chamber, and then Rhea is apologizing profusely to Io Sky. Doesn't make any difference to her. Io walks out. That's it. Then there was a War Raiders interview where Chad Gable interrupted. And I thought this was really fun from Chad Gable. And I thought he gave a pretty good little interview here. He talked about how his guys are tag champ material. He says he has to go on a quest to learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre. I kind of thought they were just going to drop that whole thing, like, quietly, but I guess he's going to go disappear to do this. I don't know if they're going to do vignettes of him, like, learning Lucha, or what's going to happen with that. I don't know. But he says when he comes back, he wants Ivy to be IC champ and for all of them to be flourishing. I thought he had a good delivery on this. I feel like he should be, featured more prominently, honestly. He seemed to have some good charisma during this segment.
It's like I said when we first started watching a month ago, I'm very happy to see him in a position where he's getting this time on camera. He's not looking like a joke. Like when he was Shorty G or whatever the hell his name was, he's getting taken seriously now. And if these are vignettes, I think that'll work. If it's not vignettes and he comes back and he has a bunch of matches against Lucha guys where he beats them, that'll work. So I like it. It's an interesting angle.
Okay, we're gonna try and just power through this real quick. We had Seth Rollins came out. Rollins, I guess he's like turning heel. I didn't really know what to make of this promo, because it kind of felt like a heel promo. Also, he was like a leather cowboy with these sunglasses. I don't know where he gets these outfits.
I wrote down it looked like he had holes in his jacket that are the size of shower curtain rings. So maybe he just pulled a shower curtain off of the fucking, washroom.
Well, he shit on Roman Reigns. Then he brought Sami out, and he was hyping up Sami because he hates CM Punk. I don't know. I didn't think it was a great promo.
Yeah.
Then we had Sami Zayn versus CM Punk. Again, this is kind of the problem with the Kevin Owens and Cody match again, where I didn't think Sami was winning this match.
Right. The only way Sami was going to win is if there was an interference because someone wanted to screw Punk over, and then it would have built a Punk angle. But for a legit match, Punk's going to win this because he's going to go on. Right.
Now, to Sami's credit, it was a really, really good match. And
yes.
It almost did make me believe when he reversed that GTS into the cradle roll-up. I kind of thought he might steal it with that cradle roll-up for 1 second. I was like, ooh, but it didn't end up happening. There was a point where CM Punk pointed at the WrestleMania sign. He was trash talking Sami. That's for me. You'll never get there. That sort of thing. Ultimately, Sami Zayn hit a suplex into the turnbuckle. He charged at Punk, but Punk got out of the corner, hit the GTS for the win.
Out of nowhere, right? Kind of similar to how he beat Seth, where it's like Seth is kicking his butt for a while, and all of a sudden, I just reverse GTS, I win. It's like, damn, it's two high-profile matches in a row where he just kind of reverses what the opponent's doing and instantly wins. But still a good match.
And then it was a really good match. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I thought it was a better main event than last week's Raw with Drew and Sami, wasn't it? A lot better. Then Punk started pointing at the WrestleMania sign, and then that's when this shit went off the rails. The audio and technical glitches just tanked this. Kevin Owens came in to jump him.
Right.
And I ended up having to turn it off because I thought I was going to have an epileptic seizure.
Jeez.
It was like green flashes
over
and over again for like 10 seconds straight.
It's like we're in the digital era. Is it seriously like someone tripped on a fucking cable back in the van out back or something? How bad is this? Like, what has happened to make the broadcast just disintegrate at the end? It was bizarre.
It was bizarre. I don't know. How are you feeling now on the road to WrestleMania? Are you more excited or less excited? And then we'll kind of wrap up. We're going to need a Hail Mary whale goal tip here.
I know.
I don't know. Whales assemble! I don't think it's happening.
We do have two quick super chats did come in. Actually, maybe there were 3. I think, no, 2. We had DJ Depression did a $5 super chat. This is for the anti-Jey promo that PPP has cut. I can't believe they're sacrificing Gunther to a guy with a dead meme for a catchphrase. There you go.
Well, go ahead.
And then Udon did a $5 super chat. I'm catching up on the stream. King Phil versus Steve Cambion. Feltoning stream will need to happen. Much kino will ensue.
Well, if they donated, maybe it would have happened. But, there just wasn't any support. Maybe we'll have to throw that in. So if there is a last-minute $350 whale contribution, we'll review NXT. There will be a chicken dance. There will be a YMCA dance. And I don't know. We're going to take a picture of Phil's washing machine next. Like,
good Lord.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
What do you need to see, folks? I don't think it's happening. But go ahead. Give us your kind of thoughts coming out of Royal Rumble, your WrestleMania thoughts.
I'm excited for Elimination Chamber at this point because it feels like the Rumble was going to be the formative event to see the road to WrestleMania, and now I feel like it wasn't. Like, because of the Jey Uso outcome, we don't actually know what's going to happen with all the top guys that we were planning to find out their destination. So I want to see who's going to be in the Chamber. I'm excited for the Chamber match. But as for WrestleMania, you're right. Like, will Roman even be there? If he's there, who's he going to wrestle? CM Punk doesn't know, he doesn't know where he's going at this point. Right now, the people who have kind of a guide, like, we know Charlotte's going to be there, but do we care if she's going to wrestle Tiffany Stratton or Rhea? Not really. We know that Jay's going to be there. Do we care if he wrestles Gunther again? No, I don't want to see that match. I'd like to see him versus Cody, but I don't think that's credible. So unless some crazy stuff happens, Are you really excited for either Rumble winner? Not really. That kind of negated the whole point of the Rumble. So at this point, they've got 2 months to build WrestleMania almost from the ground up. Are they going to do a good job? I almost feel like they're winging it till the EC, and then when the Chamber happens, go from there. So I am interested to see the next month build up to the EC, but I don't know if I have faith that they're going to pull it off.
You have a silver lining on that because the Elimination Chamber, a lot of years, feels like really predictable and like an afterthought. And, you know, everything is kind of set in stone, or you think it's going to be set in stone in the booking.
Right.
So it might be a more unpredictable chamber this year. All of those chambers where they would have like the champion come in, you know, and defend the belt, and they had the 2 champs defend, like they felt really predictable, and the champ would almost always retain.
Right.
So it might be better. Final thought about this is with Jey winning the Rumble, and what you have to realize is, how is Jey going to fare as the champion? I think that, like a lot of guys, the fans are very fickle. And once they get that guy as the champion, the fans are very quick to turn on them. Now, it's not the main belt if he goes after Gunther, but say he does get the Universal title, or even if it is just Gunther's belt. The chase with these guys is oftentimes a lot better than the title reign.
Right.
What sort of matches is Jey Uso going to be having? And what sort of programs or feuds is he going to be able to sustain at a main event level, and for how long without the fans turning on him? Even Cody Rhodes, who in my opinion is leagues above Jey Uso as a main eventer, fans are already starting to get tired of Cody.
Yeah.
There's already rumblings of, well, we're tired of Cody, or his reign hasn't been that good. I've expressed those ideas as well. And so I just think that if he does get the belt, it might honestly be a disservice to him, and it might cool him off and have the fans turn on him, because wrestling fans are super fickle. And that's the thing about them. Once there's a certain narrative that takes hold within the internet fans, it's very hard, you know, to stay over and stay a star. They'll turn on you so fast. And I think that's what will happen with Jey, because it's all flash. It's all sizzle and no steak. There's no real substance to him that makes him a main eventer. In my opinion.
That's the point that I think I've tried to make in the last month that now I've returned, because I have not been watching wrestling this entire time that Jey has had his build to supposed main event status. In the month that we've watched him, I haven't seen a single reason why he should be in the main event. He had a match with Drew that was okay. He had a match with Gunther where he lost and got basically squashed, where he got no-sold 3 times with all 3 of his finisher attempts. So I don't know why I'm supposed to be behind him. I get it. The crowd likes him. But for someone who's just coming in the last month since the Netflix era began, I don't see the credibility. Like you said, it's flash, but there's no substance to back it. So I don't care. You know, I don't feel like if he beats Gunther, it sucks. If he loses to Gunther, it's a waste. If he faces Cody, he's not going to win. So I don't get it. I feel like they need to build him, and they haven't done it. So are they going to do that? Or is this just going to be him yeeting every single week, and then nothing happens until WrestleMania?
Okay. Well, I agree. You know, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in it. I feel like it was a waste of the Rumble. I guess that's it for this week, guys. It's a big disappointment. We missed the goal, but you know, you can't hit it every time. You can't hit it every time, folks. I don't know what happened. What happened? I don't know. It was the big Royal Rumble show. Maybe people thought it was going to be on Thursday. I'm going to do my own like DSP business meeting right now. I'm channeling Phil. Maybe it was that people thought it was going to be on Thursday because of last week and they didn't show. Maybe it was because I didn't put out my tweet in time.
They thought I wasn't going to be here because my neck is hurt. You know, they thought I was out with injury.
Let's make a lot of excuses for why this didn't happen. Ultimately, it can't be our fault. It can't be that I fucking spent over an hour talking about Phil's fucking education or some shit, and we didn't even talk about Can't be our fault. It's you, the audience at home, that didn't support this incredible spectacle that we put together tonight. I don't even know what to say. We're going to have multiple shareholder meetings, business meetings. We're going to have to talk over what went wrong this week. It's unbelievable. And Phil didn't even do the chicken dance.
No.
It's unbelievable. That was my big goal, was to get Phil to do the chicken dance.
I'm stuck over here in the fumes of failure tonight. Look at this. Like, come on, I got to air the place out. We're such a big failure of a show tonight, man. I don't know.
Mouse goes, we can do better, promise. But where was the support, Dankest Mouse? Where were the donations tonight? This is unbelievable disrespect from the audience to only give $150 for this. What? All right, guys. I guess we'll see you on the next one.
All right. So next week, it will still be Tuesday night, 6:45 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time starting time. I think we got the tech issues worked out this week. The mic worked, no echo, thankfully. And, next week, we'll definitely be doing Raw. We'll have to see what else we're up to feeling like doing. But I think we'll talk a lot more about wrestling. Maybe start the show with the wrestling talk first.
I didn't go into wrestling and then maybe do the other stuff to fill time at the end.
Right.
Might be the ideal format for the program. We're experimenting with stuff and playing around with it. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. Give us some feedback.
Yeah,
on the
comments.
show.
Leave a comments on the video here on demand. We need to know.
From the first episode to now, I really feel like Phil has grown leaps and bounds with his commentary. You can tell that Phil's excited to talk about wrestling. Like, he's very passionate about it. I'm passionate about it as well. And I think when we get into the back and forth about wrestling, it's pretty strong. And I think it's actually a good show. And hopefully you guys continue to support it. Hopefully this is just a road bump on a very long and successful run of smart guys.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks to those who are here live. If you're watching on demand, remember to like the video and give us your feedback for next week. We'll be back Tuesday night. All right, guys. All right. Thank you all. Have a good evening. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.